What is up, TFA fam? Welcome into the Week 6 live start-sit show, the Q&A show, the random question from Raylan show. Whatever you got, we are here for you. The questions are already lining up in the chat. Just really quick off the top, 4 bye weeks this week and another Sunday 9:30 game. So make sure you're checking your lineups, going over it twice, trying to find out who's naughty and nice, get everything squared away. First bye weeks, another London game. A lot going on this week, but we had Triple Trey. He seems that he's worried, right? He's anxious. He's been with us for the past 20 minutes, just eagerly awaiting our help. So let's dive right in. Joined as always with Kev and Robbie. So here's the first one from Trey. Tony, CD, Moore, St. Brown. We need 3 out of this group. Obviously locking in CD Lamb.
What more are we talking about here? We're getting off to an interesting start. I'm gonna guess this is Rondale because DJ Moore should be that auto start. Wouldn't you guys think?
You know what's really funny is like my mind went to Rondale and Elijah. I wasn't even thinking.
Oh. Elijah's you got to bench him for a little bit. You got to put him off your radar for a minute.
Yeah, it's Rondale Moore.
Okay. So locking in CD Lamb. Kev, has anything else come out with Kadarius Toney? Because you're the one who kind of brought that up to me last night on the wide receiver ranking show, talking about Kadarius Toney has an ankle injury, should be okay, but it's not season ending. Has anything else come out?
Not yet. It's just some. He was at practice today, so that is a good sign for his availability for this week. Just an odd thing to say by Joe Judge. I don't think it's that serious. It's not a season-ending injury or anything like that. Like, whoa, where did we come up with that from?
Maybe he was confused. He thought we were talking about Barkley because of the pictures, and he got all these injuries confused because there's a couple injuries. I don't know if we saw week 6. There was just a few injuries to Giants skilled position players. So I understand maybe why he got them confused.
And they even asked him today about Saquon again today, and he still has not ruled him out for this week.
He is not human if he plays this week. That is wild.
So as far as really quickly, because obviously Kadarius Toney, we're going to feel much better about plugging him in if the injuries continue for their wide receiver group. Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton did get in limited practices today. The only ones who did not practice were Danny Dimes, Galladay, and Barkley as far as fantasy relevant guys are concerned. So the other 2 receivers did get in limited practices today.
So this is CD, obviously, and then Kadarius Toney. And then I would go Rondale Moore.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I get it. Mike Glennon still peppered Kadarius Toney with targets. But if all these other options are there, I feel like we're chasing something that's not the same situation when we have the Rams secondary versus Toney with Shepard, with Slayton, some of these other options. So I might lean St. Brown, CD obviously, and then Rondale Moore on my end. Because St. Brown, especially with Cephas out, has kind of taken the last 2 weeks. He's had the largest target share. I don't think he's a high ceiling type of player. I think he's a really good PPR option, somebody that should see a decent target share because they're about out of wide receivers in their own right because they didn't have many to start with. So if you talk about injured wide receiver cores, no Tyrell Williams, no Quintez Cephas, it's really Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Hawkinson, Swift. End of list.
Yeah, if those receivers for the Giants are back in conjunction with Mike Glennon at the helm, I'm going to go with the last 3 there. I mentioned Rondale Moore on the wide receiver rankings video at the end, and Christian Kirk. Good matchup for both of those guys from the slot. St. Brown, if he's going to be in the slot, he has been splitting some snaps inside and outside but he has another good matchup here if he stays in the slot as well. So I'm going to go with the last three. That's where I am leaning. But if those other receivers are out, I would replace St. Brown with Tony.
It does sound like that Daniel Jones, they said he's making progress already in concussion protocol. So I think he probably plays this weekend, barring any sort of setback. So I would expect him to play.
And it's going to be interesting because I feel like I don't know the full levels they need to hit to get back on, but I feel like they never get cleared until like Saturday, it feels like. So I think that's going to be one where we're going to be waiting up until the weekend to find that out. But I agree with you, Kev, where if he just goes through the proper protocols, we're not taking this concussion as, oh, it's worse than another one because he wobbled when he got up. It's just, let's see what happens throughout the rest of the week, but it might be later in the week until we find out for sure.
The Weebles wobble and they all fall down. Bengals or Panthers? For me, I'm going to go Bengals on this one. I talked about them in the streamer video. Have actually been playing pretty decent. Obviously, the matchup is in their favor with Goff as well. So I'm going to go Bengals on this one. Do either of you disagree?
No, I do not.
Boom. There you go, Trey. Hopefully we get you up. Hold on, let's finish out with Trey here, and then Mr. Wong will get yours. Darnold, Wentz, Teddy B. All streamers that I talked about. Literally talked about all three of those, along with Taylor Heineke.
I'm going with Darnold, but it's really close. I'd love Sam Darnold and Carson Wentz this week.
Yeah, same. I mean, a lot of people are going to have Carson Wentz. I was looking at some other rankings for popular sites, and he's in like the 20s, 22, 25, and I have him at 16. I felt like that was a bit hot. I'm sure, Kev, you might even have him higher, but really like Carson Wentz this week. I'm still going to go with Sam Darnold. I just trust him a little bit more, but Wentz played really, really well. I think we need to kind of take that because I think we have this notion right now that Carson Wentz has been bad, and he's been bad since going back to 2020. And actually Carson Wentz, especially with how Pittman's been performing on the receiving end, Carson Wentz looked good, I think, on Monday night, and I have no problems rolling him out. So it'll go Darnold, Wentz, and then Bridgewater for me.
Samesies. And how do we feel about Dalvin Cook playing this week? I think got in a limited practice today. Did I see that correctly?
Yeah.
And Madison did not practice. I mean, if he's active, it's super hard to sit him. I get it that the last time he was active, he split time with Madison, didn't work out the way you wanted. Maybe you're lowering that ceiling. But if Dalvin Cook's playing, I believe that you're starting him in 90% of your situations.
So since Trey is sitting at 2 and 3, would you debate on trading Dalvin Cook to try and get some other pieces, like he's saying here, wide receivers, Lamb, Tony Moore, St. Brown, Judy, and then a running back, Pollard, Patterson, and Carter, along with Dalvin Cook?
You know who I'm trading in that running back room? I'm trading Patterson and not Cook. I think you can get quite a bit for Patterson right now, and I think that's a move that I would lean towards rather than Cook. People have been getting crazy returns on Patterson, so I think you can ask for quite a bit. Don't be shy with what you're asking for.
If Cook has a blow-up week this week, would you try and just if you can get one of those packages, a Godfather package, right, where you just can't refuse it? But would you look to trade him in that instance, or are you just holding on to your stud because outside of Dalvin and CeeDee Lamb, this roster is a little bit thin?
Well, it's a 14-team league, right? And so you're probably not going to have any loaded rosters, right? Because with it being a 14-team league, and so it's going to be tough to probably get adequate value back for Dalvin Cook in a 14-team league, just because of kind of roster limitations and everything else. So if it was me, I wholeheartedly agree with Robbie. You try to move Cordell Patterson. I think sometimes it's an interesting thing because I think some people don't look at this the proper way in terms of selling high on guys. Like another guy I think as a great sell high is Deebo Samuel. Like he's not going to continue to produce at the level he's been producing. I still think he's going to be a good wide receiver. Before, like I'm not saying he's going to fall off a cliff or anything, but he's not going to be the wide receiver 5 overall the rest of the season, right? And so he's probably going to fall back more in line to what we would typically see from him, 12, 14 fantasy points per game, stuff like that. And his value is as high as it possibly could be right now. And those are the guys we should be looking to sell. We're not trying to sell, Dalvin Cook or Christian McCaffrey and guys like that right now. If you don't have to, because those guys are consistent every single week, producers. Whereas I would rather trade these other guys who are at the top of their value and you're never going to get any higher than that and sell those guys.
Yep. Just to quickly add to that, when you're selling high on players that were the highest coming into the year, and we've seen what they've done, year after year, and what he's done the first 2 weeks when he was healthy, over 100 total yards the first week, and a touchdown, and then 130 yards the second week. Like you can't sell higher than right. He was probably the second, third, fourth overall pick. Like you just got to stick with that guy and know that when he's healthy, he's going to produce for you.
Agreed. Good points by both of you. Mr. Wong wants to know in the flex, Claypool or Marquise Brown. Kev, I know you like both these guys.
It's Marquise Brown.
It is, man. He's hard. I don't know if you can say must start, but he is right at that level of you have to have a damn good option to sit Marquise Brown right now.
Kyle rocking with us again. Good to see Kyle back in the chat. First question, who to flex here out of Higgins, AB, or Brandon Cooks this week in a full PPR?
That one's close. And AB has been fantastic except for 1 week? Was it week 2? Other than that, AB has been fantastic. That's very close. Kev, you leaning one way or the other?
Kev, you're muted. Glad you can join us for your first show.
Still muted.
I said I would go Brandon Cooks.
Ooh, I was not even considering Brandon Cooks there.
I mean, listen, the corners for Indianapolis are fucking horrific.
Injured. Yep.
Yeah, and so I'm not worried about that at all. We know he's going to see a ridiculous target share. Last week we knew that we had a pretty good feeling that New England was going to try to take him away because that's what New England does. They take away your best option, and that's exactly what they did. And little did I think that Chris Moore was going to be the guy that steps up out of nowhere. But regardless of that, I think he's back. I mean, he's going to continue to see it in a ridiculous target share. Whereas like Higgins and AB, I still think they're great options, but like they're not as clear cut as Brandon Cooks is in terms of just opportunities.
I think Cooks is the safe play because of what you were saying, Kev, but I also feel like a Davis Mills target is worth like 0.1 of what other targets are
I don't know. He went out and balled last week.
Nah, blind squirrels and nuts. You know what I mean? I think AB would be my second choice here, Kyle, if you need some upside. I think if you just want to feel safe about it, you plug in Cooks. But if you're looking at your matchup this week or you're behind, you need to make some moves, something like that, I think AB is the upside because I think we see Cincy go back to being a 28 to 30 attempt kind of passing offense going up against Detroit instead of last week where they were forced to throw over 32 times for the first time all season.
Finally.
Yeah. Thanks to overtime and the Packers.
Yeah, just the Bucs are passing at such an incredible rate that even though AB is the quote unquote third option in that Tom Brady passing offense, man, I just trust that. And we've seen what that upside looks like. I'm not sure that Davis Mills has too many games like he did last week. So I'm going to go AB.
Kyle, appreciate the $4.99 holla. Appreciate all you guys. If there is another way that you guys want to support TFA, you can do so by checking out Thrive Fantasy in the App Store or at thrivefantasy.com. If you're unfamiliar with what they are, think DraftKings, think FanDuel, but with props. So instead of, grinding it out the way that Kev does, trying to find the guy who's 1% owned to be able to take down a big tournament, all you got to do is you pick some props, overs and unders, and they only focus on the guys who everybody knows and has the biggest impacts on Sunday. So definitely check them out. Use our code TFA whenever you join up for a dollar-for-dollar deposit match, or you can just read everything at the bottom of the screen there. So going up to Kyle's question, in an 8-man Superflex PPR, team Kyler and Allen, nice. Dalvin, Moss, Eli, Javonte, Damian Harris, Keenan, Kupp, Deontay, Devonta, Sutton, Knox, and Higbee. Starts for the week. Obviously plugging in the 2 quarterbacks and not thinking twice about it every single week. Plugging in Dalvin. Let's assume, because I don't know the full starting requirements here, so let's assume 2 running backs. So Dalvin, who else are we plugging in? Kev, I know you like Moss. Elijah Mitchell, obviously on bye week, so we're not considering him. So let's plug in Moss for your second RB. Wide receivers, plugging in Keenan. I think I'm gonna go with the first 4 there, assuming you need a flex. So assuming it's 2, 3, and a flex, I would go with those first 4 wide receivers, and then plugging in Knox at tight end.
Man, you don't even need us. You just unpacked that all yourself. I loved it.
Well, if that's what the starting requirements are, I don't know.
Right. I don't.
Let's
So
say
I'm
it's
just
not.
throwing
Let's
out.
say it's 2. Let's say it's 2 wide receivers and a flex. What would you do? First 3.
Yeah. Well,
see, I don't know. I don't know if it would be for me. I like Keenan. Like, I think Keenan Allen's going to be fine, but he's clearly not the alpha in that offense anymore. And like that needs to be recognized with this offense, right? And it's very likely he's like the 3rd option now, rather than the first option or even the second option. Mike Williams is the alpha in that offense, and so I mean, obviously Kupp is a must, and then you have Deontay, and I think it's a question between Devonta and Sutton. I really
like Devonta this week.
Huh?
I was just saying I really like Devonta this week, as you were touching on him.
And so like I still think it's probably Keenan Allen, but like it's not as clear cut as it would be, I think, in years past, because of his usage isn't the same as what we've typically seen from him. Just because Mike Williams has just went absolutely nuclear this year, because they put him in the offense they're running. I mean, they're running it through the X, and so Keenan Allen is just getting a lot of the underneath stuff, and he's not being utilized in the red zone either. And so, I mean, I still think Keenan Allen's going to be fine long term, but he's no longer a top 10 option anymore. Like, he's much more in that lower end wide receiver 2 for me, I think, moving forward.
He's been getting the kind of the Keenan stat lines to like 80% of what we want at, or what we think we typically get out of Keenan, but the touchdowns haven't been there. Right? Like, it's normally been around like that. He had the one game where it was like 4 for 70. He's had like the 6 for 70s and the 5 for 80s and that sort of thing. But it's been Mike Williams who's eating up everything else, and there just hasn't been enough room, and then you have Austin motherfucking Eckler coming in and wreaking havoc as well. So I agree, Kev. It's probably not as clear cut, and I really do like Devonta Smith this week. But I think I'm going to go with those first 3. Does the fact that it's an 8-man change anything for you? Like, are you potentially shooting for a little bit more upside with somebody like Devonta Smith in that matchup over any of those guys? Obviously, the running backs are set. We're not worrying about that. The tight end is set with Knox. Does Devonta enter the equation here because it's an 8-man, and obviously you're assuming that every other team is also going to be loaded?
So it's tough because, I mean, I think you probably roll with what you have. I mean, you have to roll with whatever. I mean, and you're doing great at quarterbacks. Running back is a little suspect a little bit. I don't know.
Got injuries. He's got 2 on IR, Monty and CH.
Clyde.
Yeah. But I think you probably keep it with the first 3.
You want to talk about coming in and making a statement. Derek, always rocking with us. We really appreciate you, man. Has a trade here for us. Traded away Waddle and Sanders for Josh Jacobs. The running backs are now Kamara, Hunt, Fournette, Pollard, and Jacobs. Wide receivers, Amari, D-Hop, Renfro, Beasley, Shepard, and then the Philly pairing at tight end. QB is Josh Allen in a full PPR, a 10-man. How do we feel about this for Derek? Do we like the trade?
One, Derek, thank you so much. That is absolutely fantastic. Really, really do appreciate that. That is kind of mind blowing. Thank you so much. And then I don't know. Like, I feel like Waddle is going to continue to improve as the year goes on. I don't think we've seen the best from Waddle yet. So he traded away Waddle and Miles Sanders. Am I reading that correct?
Correct. For Josh Jacobs.
Yeah. And Josh Jacobs, it looks like Kenyon Drake's kind of been pushed out of his role, and it's just Josh Jacobs, which is fantastic and why you feel a little bit more comfortable with Josh Jacobs. He's a top, I think he's right at running back 16, or 17 for me this week. But again, I feel like you're selling low on Sanders and selling low on Waddle because I do think Waddle's better. So, I mean, I don't hate it. I think you did get better at running back. And he's going to start Amari and D-Hop most weeks. He's still got Shepard there. He's got a couple of flex options, but man, I feel like Waddle will he'll have really good games coming up here soon. So it's fine. It's a C for me.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't think that I don't know at this point. I don't really see the Eagles' offense changing, so I'm not entirely sure that we get a sell high window for Miles Sanders. Like, I don't think he's going to be as bad and as underutilized as he has been, but I'm not sure that we get the 4th round payoff of where most of us drafted him to be. And then Waddle, maybe once Tua comes back, but he's running out of excuses at this point with, there's no Fuller, no Devontae Parker, and he's still only getting targeted, 4, 5, 6 times. And you know what I mean? The production really hasn't been there. So I don't mind it in a 10-man. I also don't know what you could have packaged those 2 up to get any higher. You know what I mean? So I think it's fine. And if Jacobs continues to be utilized in the passing game as well, that's going to do wonders for his production, obviously.
Yeah, the one guy I might throw out for listeners to try and target, and Cody, I think you brought him up on the running back show, is Darrell Henderson, because he was a guy I think you had some questions about, now he's coming off the injury. Are they going to keep Sony involved? And yeah, he got banged up, and I think that's always the thing with Darrell Henderson is he's just can't always stay healthy. But man, when he's out there, he is putting up fantasy points, and I don't know if he's viewed as that running back one. I think you can still get him, maybe not Waddle and Miles Sanders, but I don't think it's far off. And he's a guy that I trust a lot more to be in the top 12 whenever he is healthy. So that's a name that I'm trying to acquire in leagues where I need a running back too.
Kev, do you want to see if you can rectify my mistake? I was trying to block the other one and accidentally ended up blocking Kyle because a new comment came in.
First you in the stream.
My God.
1 week. And now you're blocking one of our best listeners here.
There has to be a way we can do that through.
Yeah, I mean, there's. Yeah, we should be able to.
All right, I'll let you deal with that. See if you can find something quickly. Robbie and I will get rocking through here. Derek, we really appreciate you. Let us know if we can help you out with any starts, and I guess we can just go through and do that now. Obviously, Josh Allen plugging in. Running backs, Kamara, Hunt, Fournette, Pollard, Jacobs. So, again, let's assume that we need 2 here. Who are you going with? Obviously, Kamara. Or wait, the Saints are on bye, right?
Saints are on bye.
Saints are on bye.
So he's going to be
probably
Hunt
this week. I like Fournette this week.
Yeah, really hard to sit Hunt. Fournette, great call last week. Fournette had a game. I I wasn't far off. You kind of convinced me. I bumped him up. I think I eventually got him within my top 18 or so. So yeah, I think he has kind of taken over some of that Giovanni Bernard role. So we really like that. Pollard this week, actually, I think he's at a level where he's with bye weeks. He's a perfect flex as well. But if you're only starting 2, yeah, it's probably Hunt and Fournette for me. And then wide receivers, Amari, D-Hop. And then for a flex, I'm probably going to go Jacobs over Shepard, Renfro, and Beasley.
Yeah, I think you plug Jacobs in there with the flex, get to use the guy that you just traded for. And then has Goddard been ruled out?
Do you know? No, but it'd be hard to imagine he can get 2 negative tests in by tomorrow.
Okay, so then that is obviously that decision is made for you there, Derek. Again, appreciate you, Kyle. I hope we can bring you back. My God, just as good of a fantasy week and a prop and a betting week that I had.
Right, killed it.
The streams have just been absolutely dreadful for me. There has to be a way. There has to be a way to bring him back. Walito also rocking with us as always, the MVP of the show. Thanksgiving in a month, Christmas in 2 means DFS Thanksgiving and the return of Christmas hat, Jeff.
Yes.
Yes, we do love it. Love you, Walito. I'm going to go back up to the top of the show here, get caught back up with the people who have been waiting on their questions to be answered. Did we get... Yes, we got Mr. Wong's. Okay. Brady wants to know, pick 2, Sanders, Edmonds, Devontae Booker. I'm going the first 2.
Interesting. I'm going to go the last 2. Sanders' snap share is fine, and he's running routes. He's just not getting the overall workload that I think we want. Whereas Booker, on the other end, I get it. That Giants offense might not look pretty if it's Mike Glennon, but at least I know he's going to be involved a lot more than Sanders, especially with Sanders going up against Tampa Bay. He's probably not going to do anything on the ground, right? Speaking of Thrive Fantasy, I think his over-under for rushing yards is like 28 or something ridiculous. It's extremely low. So I'm going to go Edmonds and Booker just from a workload standpoint.
Yeah, me too. I just have such a blind spot for Devontae Booker, not wanting to plug him in, that could have said Tom Corson and Chase Evans, and I still would have picked. The first 2. Yeah, I'm going to go Edmonds and Booker there. Braden, thank you for the question. Justin has 2 here: Hollywood or Hunt in the flex and a full PPR.
Hunt facing that Arizona run defense, or the lack thereof, I should say. But I can't sit Hollywood right now. We do think that Bateman's coming off of IR this upcoming week and going to start to work into that offense, but I'm not sitting Hollywood right now.
That is close. Like
Very.
you said, I kind of going with the coaching hot hand approach there and keeping Hollywood. And although I will say that I think the Chargers have given up bottom 10, I can't remember the exact number, in terms of explosive plays allowed, and obviously that is his MO. And Hunt, we talked about on the Discord. If you want to join, there is a link in the video description below. Double-digit runs in every week except week 1. In the past 3 weeks, he has gotten 16 targets. But I agree, it is close. Justin, who else are you starting? Is there any way that we can get both of those guys in? Let us know if you're still rocking with us. And then Gibson, Cooper, Hunt, Higgins, or AB in a full PPR, and we need 2 out of this group.
Man, Gibson's workload was really interesting. Coming into the week, questionable to play, not going to be his full self, and then he just gets more work than he's gotten the entire season, right? So that was 22. Encouraging. Probably going to go Gibson and Cooper. But man, there's a lot of different ways you can go here. I'm going to go Gibson and Cooper. I understand why people might be nervous with Cooper. Again, Dalton Schultz has the target majority for another week. I keep saying it. I don't think that's going to continue long term, but Cooper gets touchdowns in back-to-back weeks. I'm going to stick with Cooper for another week. Gibson and Cooper for me.
I'm going to go Gibson and Hunt. Those are going to be my two here. The Patriots secondary has been playing better than their run game has, and Dallas has kind of switched up their offense. Maybe not even switched up their offensive philosophy, but it's been different than I think what a lot of us were expecting. We were expecting a repeat of 2020, and they've been way more balanced to the point of almost tipping the scales on the other side of it, because they currently have the fourth lowest passing rate in the NFL. So I'm going to go with the safety here. Give me the touches and give me Gibson and Hunt. I don't think Cooper is a bad option. I just prefer the safety of Hunt there, and I think he does have some upside, especially in this matchup.
I mean, I was looking at AB as well too, man. That's quite the group there. I don't hate any of those options, but yeah, good options.
Good for you, Justin. Let's get this last one here from him. Fant or Hunter Henry in full PPR.
Cowboys have been not great against tight end this year. Even Evan Ingram, who really gets the targets and doesn't seem to do anything, had over 50 yards against him. That's promising, but I think I'm going to stick with Fant until we see Jerry Jeudy come back. I'm going to stick with Noah Fant here.
I really like Hunter Henry this week.
It's nice to see that it's not like Johnny 1 week, Hunter Henry the other week, and that's why I have him as a top 8 guy. I just have Fant higher because I know he's always going to be the guy, right? If there's a touchdown going to tight end, it's not Albert O, he's out. It's going to be Fant, whereas you can still see Johnny Smith kind of sniping a little bit of work here and there.
I'm going to go Hunter Henry. I'm also going to have to update my rankings to reflect that. I'm going to go Hunter Henry there. I think the Raiders do have the athletes at linebacker to be able to stick with Fant in this matchup. Wayne needs 3 here in a non-PPR. Damian Williams, Lockett, A.J. Brown, Sanders, and Woods. We need 3 out of this group. So we're sitting 2. Locking in Woods.
Ooh, I like it. He's back now. He's back. We're back to locking him in. I'm going to lock in Damian Williams, non-PPR. I want a running back that's going to get carries, and he got carries in this past week with no Monty. A.J. Brown just gets a tough match against the Bills. The Bills are shutting down wide receivers, absolutely shutting them down. I don't know how
on an offense that is not playing well just in general.
Correct. But then Lockett, can he do stuff with Geno Smith? How does that work out? That's what makes it tough for me. Sanders had 2 touchdowns, but not the target share. It's tough between those 3, but I think I will go Lockett just because we know that boom that he can have.
I can't start Lockett with Geno Smith. I'm going to go Damian, Manny, and Woods.
Manny. We're sitting A.J. Brown and Lockett. Wild times.
Hey, it's 2021. We are here.
Manny does face Tennessee Titans. Called it last week, and it did not come to fruition for Marvin Jones or Laviska Shenault. Who knew that Jamal Agnew was going to be the target leader there? But Tennessee is league worst against wide receivers, so not a bad call of Manny Sanders.
Is he back?
I feel like since you blocked him, we should just answer his question.
Kyle, I was worried. That was not directed toward you. We were trying to get somebody else out of there. I'm glad to see Kyle K back in the chat. Thank you, Kev, for doing the work behind the scenes to get Kyle back in here. All right. CMC, Judy, and MT make me like Jameis, Teddy, and Darnold. Did we miss something?
Oh, I think he was answering somebody else's question. I just saw his name and I immediately just clicked on it.
Okay. All right.
Great answer. Great answer. Family.
So just for a test, Kyle, if you're still in here, message or drop a comment. I just want to make sure that you're good to go now. I know I saw this. This was about 7 or 8 minutes ago. So Kyle, if you're in the chat, just drop a comment. I just want to make sure you're good. Had to take care of some problems from Cody over here just blocking people, but
blink twice.
I was just trying to get that other Jagaloon out here, and I did not see that it had already been dealt with. And then the next comment came up, it bumped him up, and Cal, you were too close.
If only we had moderators for that.
Where Raylan at? Where's he at?
Walito's already a moderator. He's
the
only approved moderator on our list.
See, it all comes back to Walito. It is Walito's fault. Brian Thomas has a question here: Gainwell or Chris Carson in a full PPR?
I don't know if Chris Carson's playing this week. If he is, I'm going to imagine he splits with Alex Collins a little bit.
I'm gonna go Gainwell in a full PPR. I think we saw what the Eagles did with Gainwell in the KC matchup. I think we could see something similar here with the Bucs. He was obviously part of that game plan right from the get-go. Maybe it had something to do with the fact that, they thought that they were going to be down. They wanted to get him involved and get him going early. I think in a full PPR with, we've seen the Eagles, if we want to talk about the opposite of what the Cowboys have done, they have just completely abandoned the run, haven't really gotten Miles Sanders involved at all. In a full PPR, as we sit here today, the Eagles are 7-point home dogs to the Bucs, which obviously makes sense. So I'm going to go Gainwell here. I don't like Chris Carson's health situation. I don't like the matchup either. So I'm going to go Gainwell.
Man, that's just tough to do. I mean, I get the reasoning. I'd love to know if there's other options out there. If not, I might close my eyes and stick with Chris Carson if he's active. Obviously, if he's not, then you're going Gainwell. And I'm going Hawkinson on the other side. Although Ertz without Goddard, really enjoy that. Top 7 tight end for me.
Kev, thoughts on this one from Brian?
I don't think you're going to have a choice. I think Chris Carson's going to be out for a while. He didn't practice again today. There's been some talk about, possibly shutting him down for the year. Some speculation about that. Neck injuries isn't something you really want to mess around with. So he didn't practice today. If Chris Carson were to play, then I think I would go Chris Carson, but I'm not expecting him to play. I think it's going to be Gainwell.
And how do you feel about Hawker Ertz? Is Hawker?
It's going to be Hawkinson.
Okay. I am Aquaman. Knox, Pittman, Patrick, full PPR. Kev, let's get you back in the saddle here. How you feeling about this group? Two your boys, and Patrick, I think you talked about on the wide receiver ranking show as well. So pick your favorite child.
It's Michael Pittman. I have him as a top 20 wide receiver this week. So
I think we are all in agreement there. Ashton, down Saquon and Clyde. We need 2 yikes here. AJ Dillon, Gainwell, P. Reiner, maybe Booker if I get him off waivers. Oh, you're 5-0. All right. You have some leeway. You got some leeway, Ashton.
Yeah,
Gainwell.
It would be. I don't know. That one's close because I think AJ Dillon. We saw him get more involved in this offense as well. And he's also being utilized as a pass catcher, something I didn't fully expect to see happen. But it's Matt LaFleur. So, but I would probably go AJ Dillon here.
Needs 2, right? So I'm going Dillon and Booker. I think it's pretty easy. You're going Dillon and Booker.
Well, yeah, Booker if you can get him off waivers. If not, then it would be AJ Dillon and Gainwell.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I don't know the rest of his team and who spent money, who hasn't spent money, but 5-0, I think you're okay to spend a little bit of money if your backup running back is going to be Gainwell or P. Ryan. I think you can spend a decent amount of fab to try and get him. Maybe you have a waiver order as well, but get him if you can.
I mean, did somebody already have Darrell Williams too? That's like I mean, he was. I can't imagine he was rostered more than like 2% of leagues. So
I picked him up right before Sunday morning. I picked him up. I think, moved someone to IR and picked him up Sunday morning. That was a very, very lucky pre-pickup.
I hate that. I hate when you go to check your waivers and you're like, all right, there's no way anyone has Darrell Williams. I'm just going to plug him in. You're just like, what is this guy doing?
Yeah.
Like that. I feel like that's happened to me in a bunch of my leagues this year. I'm like, okay, here's the clear guy, and somehow already rostered. Seth Quinn wants to know here, would you rather have a paper cup between your fingers or stub your toe every day for the rest of your life? Robbie Anderson or Myles Gaskin? Kev, you kind of like Gaskin this week, do you not?
I mean, I think he's a low end. I think he's a low end RB2.
Just two guys you can't trust whatsoever. At least Myles Gaskin has done something for people's benches because he was definitely benched.
And after the week before, everybody was pissed. Everybody benched him. Like, I can't play.
Hadn't done anything. Nothing. 4 weeks.
I played him.
Nothing.
I played him.
Did you?
In the listener league, yes.
Oh yeah.
I saw that, and I was just like,
needed it.
This son of a bitch. I'd have been so pissed if I were going up against you and I saw Myles Gaskin going off for 30 points in your lineup. I'm gonna go Gaskin here as well, even though it does not feel great, but I am also gonna go Gaskin. Joey wants to know how we're feeling about Sutton this week against the Raiders. Kev, you're the one who knocked down Mike Williams 2 weeks ago because of this matchup with Casey Hayward and the Raiders. How do you feel about Sutton and obviously a lesser quarterback in Teddy Bridgewater this week?
Well, I don't know how much he's going to see of Casey Hayward. Right now, it looks like it's going to be Amik Robertson, which would be good if that's the case, because Amik Robertson has a lot of passer rating of 156.9, 5 receptions, 43 yards, and a touchdown on the season. But he's been targeted 19 times. But, we'll see on that. I think Cortland Sutton's in play for sure. I think that he is probably more of a high-end wide receiver 3, I think, in this offense. But, yeah, I am interested to see this Raiders team. Do we get any changes now that Gruden's gone? I know Cody and I we kind of hit on this last night about, do we see some different things from this offense that, I don't know, maybe they decided to use Brian Edwards more throughout the game and not just, on the last drive of the game or when it's in overtime, or maybe they, use Henry Ruggs more. I don't know. That is one aspect of this that I am looking forward to seeing, because I feel like that John Gruden probably had a pretty heavy hand on the offense, even though, obviously they have an OC, but as far as Cortland Sutton's concerned this week, I have some level of concern because Casey Hayward has been absolutely elite this year. I don't know if they're going to use him in shadow coverage. I don't think they will. But if they decide to do that, then, yeah, it would be all bad for Cortland Sutton. So but I still think he's an okay wide receiver 3.
Joey, let us know what options you have at wide receiver. See if we can help you out a little bit more. Moving on to Alexis, Damian Harris, Javonte Williams, Zach Moss, Latavius Murray. We need one out of this group.
Inject all of the Zach Moss into my veins.
Unfortunately, I would not go that far as to inject him into my veins, but I do think he is the clear answer here.
Yeah, I'm not quite on that same page. I think Javonte has produced a lot with not a lot of work. And actually, he's gotten 10 receptions in the past 3 weeks, and so he's being utilized in that pass game as well. It's close between those two, but I'm gonna give the edge to Javonte.
Hater.
He is a hater. Who are you? Are you Zach Moss? Did
Yeah.
you take Zach Moss? Okay.
Yeah, I just wasn't injecting him into my veins. I'm gonna go up and shake his hand.
You love to. This year has been excellent for me, actually. Really. I mean, Ronald Jones is dead. Devin Singletary, he's just a guy like we all thought. So this year has been going swell for me. I've really enjoyed it.
Oh man,
picks 2 reasons why it's been going well for him,
Johnson.
and has to dig that into Robbie's back.
Ty Johnson scored a touchdown last week, bud. I mean, hey, we're coming. All right,
pick him up. Better pick him up.
Tam has Hawkinson at tight end. Wondering if one of these waiver guys is a play over Hawk. The only guy I'd be looking at here would be Ertz, considering if Dallas Goedert is going to be out. Are we playing either Ertz or maybe Hunter Henry over TJ Hawkinson? Because after the first week or two, it has not been going great for TJH.
Yeah, I think his routes are still top of the tight end group. I forget exactly where he's at, but he's just running a ton of routes. I think that will change most weeks and be more on his side. Ertz is a great play. I don't have him as high as Hawk, but Ertz is a great play without Dallas Goedert. And then I think Gesicki was also on that list. I have Gesicki as a top 5 option this week going against Jacksonville. He's been getting the target share. No Will Fuller. And even if we have Tua, the return of Tua, I still like, outside of that first week where he was a dud, he's put up receiving totals of 41, 86, 57, and 43 with a touchdown mixed in there. So going against Jacksonville, I think he should have a pretty good week.
MJ being proactive here, picking up a QB early for the Week 7 bye. We got Matt Ryan versus Miami, and MJ, thank you for putting in the matchups here. Matt Ryan versus the Dolphins, Bridgewater versus Cleveland, Wentz versus San Fran, Heineke versus Green Bay, or Winston versus Seattle.
Just off the cuff, obviously we haven't seen what's going to transpire this week, and Jameis Winston won't do anything because he's on a bye. But man, when it's been good, Jameis, he's been fantastic going against the Seattle secondary. Kev, I believe you brought up Trey Flowers is no longer with Seattle, so maybe it's an upgrade. Who knows? Maybe it's an upgrade, but that Seattle secondary is something that I'd like to attack with my fantasy options. So I'm going to go Winston here.
Addition by subtraction.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Thomas might be back that week, so he's eligible to return week 7. So love to see that. And so, yeah, the only concern I would have is they just don't really have to do a lot. I mean, Geno Smith, but I like Wentz too.
If Michael Thomas is back, I'm going to go Winston. If not, I'm going to go Heineke.
Well, I don't know if we're going to know that. I'm assuming he's wanting to pick him up now and kind of as a speculative ad. So I would agree.
Heineke.
I think I would add Jameis Winston and the hopes, because I mean it's not like all these guys are getting picked up this week anyway, right? And so I think if he does it, you could swap him out. But I do think Jameis is an interesting ad if they can get back Michael Thomas and Traquan Smith.
Well, guys, wait until Taylor Heineke has a top 6 quarterback week against KC.
Yeah. Guys, I think we preached this at the beginning of the year. We don't want to carry 2 quarterbacks because we don't want to miss out on those running backs. They're one injury away, right? I just talked about picking up Darrell Williams, and then we saw the injury to CH. I think I would wait. Most of these guys, I'm not really caring if I have to start Matt Ryan over Jameis Winston or even Heineke. I would rather pick up a Sony Michel's out there or maybe a Marlon Mack if you're a deeper stash, but I'd pick up a backup running back, honestly, see if there's an injury that happens, and then just take your swing with whoever's left or put in your waiver claim next week, honestly. That'd be how I would roll with this, MJ.
I mean, I think you can. I don't mind if it's just for the 1 week and you're, if it's just for the next week. I don't mind. I don't mind getting out ahead of it and trying to find your guy. So
If there was a
um,
clear cut, yeah, I think this one it's Winston maybe, right? So
Yeah, especially with Winston being on bye, he's not going to get picked up this week. So I think that does make sense, Robbie. Mike wants to know, should I trade Cooks for CPAT? Here we go. I'm sure this has Walito all riled up in the in the chat. Mike has JT, Chubb, Diggs, McLaurin, DJ Moore, Cooks, Rondell Moore, Fant, Hurts, Ruggs, Robbie Anderson, Pollard, and Jamal Williams. Full PPR 12 team. Much love to you, Mike. Are we trading Cooks for CPAT?
I'm not. I think eventually we will see Tyrod come back. There were some broken plays that led to Brandon Cook's fantastic start with Tyrod, but I do think he's going to continue to see just a crazy target share in that offense. They're going to be a team that's behind most games. I think Patterson's crazy touchdown rate is starting to slow down after last week, and with Ridley being added back to the offense, hopefully soon, I think Cooks is going to be the better player for the rest of the season.
Yes. Do it, Kev. Do it. Say it.
that's gonna be a no for me, dog.
Yeah.
Fuck no, I wouldn't do that trade. No, I would not.
That was suspenseful, though. I enjoyed that. I didn't know where you were going.
It's the
I
same
should
thing
have.
I've said.
I should have.
It's the same thing we've said. I'm not. I recognize that there's the possibility, and I think in some formats you can play him at running back and wide receiver, and so that is a little bit of an advantage to have him. And I also don't think he's going away necessarily because they don't have anybody else. I mean, it's Pitts, it's Ridley, and it's Olamide Zaccheaus, and Russell Gage and Christian Blake.
Hurst.
I mean, so I think he's going to be relevant throughout the year, right? But he's not worth the high level that people are wanting to acquire him for. But he is definitely worth trading, for sure. If that makes sense.
Alexis just in here bragging. Great trade. Do we think Gibson and Cooper's are sell highs? Also, what do you think of Patterson and Hunt productions? Also, do we think that Patterson and Hunt productions are sustainable in full PPR? We just touched on CPAT. It's not sustainable. Hunt, I think, is a little bit more. He's always going to have those down weeks as well, but at least the usage is there. At least he has double-digit carries. He's been getting some targets where Patterson playing, I think, the last time I think we saw before the London game where they had to utilize him more because Ridley was out, sitting at 30-something% of the team snaps. So Gibson, I don't think is a sell high because even though he had a solid week, he didn't blow anybody out of the water, right? Only 60 yards, or it was under 80 total yards. I think he had 2 catches for 12 yards on top of the 60 yards he had on the ground. 3 yards per carry. I don't think you're going to get the kind of return you should get with Gibson, especially considering he's going to be probably carrying this injury for a while anyway. You guys have any extra thoughts on that one from Justin?
No, I'm going to stick with Gibson. I'm going to stick with Cooper. Hunt's current level of production is not sustainable for me. He will still be a running back 2 for me, but he scored 5 touchdowns in 5 touchdowns in 5 weeks. He is being more involved in the passing game, which is what we wanted last year, going all the way back to the second half of 2019 after he was suspended, was used a ton in the passing game. 2020, not so much. Starting to get back into that, which helps his floor. But he is a running back 2 that is scoring at a rate that I think is not sustainable. So still a good player, not a running back 1.
A-Rob or Devonta Smith at the flex for Anthony?
Devonta Smith.
That's one you say like you just grit your teeth. You're like Devonta Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I did that last week, Kev, and A-Rob, and that offense. They're not passing. They're giving their backup and third string running backs 36 carries, whatever it was, 36 carries, and Fields gets 20 attempts.
yeah, but that's going to change this week. They're not going to be able to only throw the ball 20 times.
Please.
You know, I mean, when you're playing Green Bay, you're going to have to throw the ball. So, I'm going to go Devonta Smith, but
it makes me sad saying it.
I think Allen Robinson bounces back this week.
How many
we get
how many
an
times
Allen
in a row
Robinson
can I say
week.
that? This is the week.
This is the week. This is the Robert Woods breakout week.
Pittman, Sutton, Darrell Williams, half PPR. We need 2.
Pittman and Darrell Williams.
Agreed. Triple Trey wants to know what we try to trade C. Patterson for.
What weapons?
Well, these are always tough because I don't know what other teams have, right? And so just to throw
Do you
out
think
some
you could get Allen Robinson for CPAT?
Oh yeah,
that's not enough.
You could get Allen Robinson plus. That's what that was kind of where I was going. Like you go to the Allen Robinson owner, and try to see what you can get for that.
This is a situation where I would just put him up on the trade block and just see what kind of offers start coming your way, because it's for us anyway. Like, I feel like we could potentially, like I just said, A-Rob, and you guys are saying like, no, that's not enough. You know what I mean? It's like, I think if you go out and you try to make that deal for somebody else, you might be selling yourself short. So I would just kind of I would just put him on the block, see what kind of offers start rolling in, and then go from there.
Yeah, you don't want to bet against yourself, I guess, or trade against yourself on that.
Yeah, I'm aiming more at the if someone's disappointed with Mixon and he's been injured now and got bailed out by a touchdown, I'm aiming at that level. Mixon, I know Jonathan Taylor just went off, so that's not probably on the table, but DeAndre Swift has quietly been playing super well in PPR leagues, but maybe that's a trade you can make. But that's the level that I'm aiming at.
Trey, we do have a TikTok page. We have not been active on it recently, but I am that is my goal over here for the next week or so, to get more active on Instagram as well. So we're on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. So you can find us over there. I'm going to start posting more on all of our social media pages. Half PPR here for Steven. Ertz or Henry?
Ertz for me. Like them both, though.
Yeah. Going to go Ertz as well. Kev, throwing this one to you. Mr. Wong has Tanny in some leagues, sacked with AJ or Julio. Been rough. Hoping it all comes together versus the Bills home on Monday night. I don't think this is going to be the week for you, Mr. Wong. You might be crossing your fingers and hoping for the next week, the way that we have been with Allen Robinson. Not really a question there. So, Cav, coming back here to you again. This one from Yvette. Devonta Smith, Laviska Shenault, Darrell or Damian. I don't know. Javonte Williams. Need one. I think it's going to be Smith no matter what DW it is, correct?
I think if it's Darrell Williams, I would go Darrell Williams. If it's not, I would go Devonta.
I have Darrell. Yeah, I'd go Darrell and then Devonta.
All right. Full PPR here for Braden Claypool, Melvin Gordon, T. Higgins at the flex.
Mr. Never Took an L, Chase Claypool.
Agreed.
I don't think I've ever said Chase Claypool as a starter, but I'm going to right now. I'm going to be putting in.
You need to
Claypool
figure out
here.
why. Just figure out the root cause of your hate for Chase Claypool and rid yourself of it. Okay, since he's coming the league, I think we're like the first TikToks. Was it a TikTok that you ever made? Was it might have been a YouTube video? Was about Chase Claypool and making fun of him. You know, it has gone back since the day he was drafted in Pittsburgh. Okay, you're supposed to be a Yinzer. You're supposed to be family. right? Like you need to wrap your arms and embrace Chase Claypool.
If he gets in my face, I'm going to drop that motherfucker. Gator fan wants to know, as they're both questionable, how do we feel about starting A-Rob and or Carson this week? We've already touched on Carson. We do not like it. Doesn't seem like he's going to play anyway. A-Rob, I think you can start him. The matchup is there. We think it's going to force Justin Fields to have to throw a little bit more. If Daniel Jones doesn't play, do I start Glennon or Fields as the QB2?
1,000,000,000% Justin Fields.
Yes.
I ain't starting that giraffe-looking motherfucker, Mike Glennon, okay? Have you seen the guy's neck? That thing's huge. It's like, it's a huge neck.
It is. I agree. If we're doing our ABCs, G is for giraffe Glennon. Mario. Should I do Debo for Amari and Higbee? Tight end right now is Goddard.
No, just go out and pick up. I mean, just go out and pick up Dan Arnold, and he'll thank me on Sunday evening.
For Mateo, I think Amari's going to be better than Debo, so I'm fine with that. Higbee's just a throw-in, but I'd make that trade. I'd sell high on Debo.
So basically, if you're looking at this as a straight-up swap, you would still do this?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's tough. That one's tougher. I think it's close.
I'm going to trust a Dak Prescott offense, even if they are running more this year than I will Trey Lance, or if they go back to Jimmy G. I just think the volume, even with them running more, will be higher with the Cowboys, and just the passing touchdowns, the efficiency, right? We've seen Amari not have the yardage, but the touchdown is there. I get it. Debo has done that and more so far, but I don't know if that, one, is sustainable, and two, when Kittle comes back, Ayuk eventually gets back into the fold. I don't know if that continues.
Or maybe Debo for Henderson.
Yep.
Kev, would you be more willing to do Debo for Henderson over Cooper, or you still leaning Debo?
I think you can get more for Debo. That's what I'm saying. Like I think we're like, we need to think bigger here. You know, Debo has, I mean, just absolutely torched, right? And so I think you can get more for that. I think you can get more out of him than Darrell Henderson. And that's not a knock against Darrell Henderson. It's just I think his value is a lot higher.
Playing.
Like, I think you could probably trade Debo for Antonio Gibson. I think you could trade Debo for maybe even Aaron Jones. Like, Aaron Jones has been very hit or miss.
Yeah. Outside of that 1 week.
A lot of people fantasy football, they just go, they click on their name. They've done lately. Oh man, that guy's been terrible. I'm tired of Aaron Jones. AJ Dillon has been getting all this opportunity. Oh man. Oh look, he's giving me this guy that scores 30 points a week. Heck yeah, I'm doing that. Like that's what I would do. I would be swinging for the fences if I'm going to trade Debo Samuel.
It's fair.
Mr. Wong, again, would not pick up Winston as your QB2 on a bye week. More than likely, no one else is going to be picking him up. You can pick him up next week on waivers. Tam is playing Eckler, Chubb, Cooks, Pittman in a half PPR. We need a flex here. A-Rob, oh my God. The fact that A-Rob is lumped in with these Joe Schmoes, these Schmohawks, A-Rob, Gaskin, Darrell Williams, Hunt. Do have A.J. Brown. Not interested in playing him over these guys. Any thoughts here for our man, Tam?
That is awfully close between Hunt and Darrell Williams for me. I have 15 for Hunt, 16 for Darrell Williams in the running back rankings.
Kev?
I'm going to go Darrell Williams because I know he's a starter. If you look at it last week, one CH left. I think he played 28 snaps to 5 of Jerick McKinnon, or 8 of Jerick McKinnon, or something like that. So he's the clear-cut starter. He's got to get the early down work. He's got to get the pass catching work. Jerick McKinnon will switch in, but
Yeah, I heard Jerick McKinnon.
And you know what's going to happen?
Heard Jerick McKinnon was going to be fantastic this year from somebody.
Excuse the hell out. Hey,
miss me on that one.
It is opening now. It is opening now. The window is open for Jerick McKinnon.
All right.
All right. But no, that's not what I was going to say. What I was going to say is, listen, it's coming. It's going to happen. Everybody's going to bench A.J. Brown, and everybody's going to bench Allen Robinson, and they're just going to explode in people's faces, and they're going to be like, "Fuck."
What in the world? I looked over. If you guys can hear this in the background, I have a sick toddler who's now running amok. I look up and Kev's chair is empty. I don't know where he went. His chair was swinging around. Swift over Hunt in full PPR. Yes, you are doing that, even though we do like Hunt this week. A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, or T. Higgins in the flex.
A.J. Brown.
Devonta Smith.
Devonta Smith for me.
DB, Dustin Burrow, PPR. PPR in the flex. It's on his face.
Emmanuel Sanders in these matchup, or Hope Woods keeps the grease on the wheels.
Woods. Next question.
Boom shakalaka.
CeeDee Lamb, Keenan Allen, or AJB rest of season. How would you rank them?
Man, you weren't lying with Keenan Allen. Definitely not quite the guy. Although his target share has been there, it's just the yardage and his touchdowns have just not been there. Only one touchdown through 5 weeks. But man, I trust that volume, and with the good offense, I think the touchdowns work their way back around, balance out a little bit more. I'll go Keenan Allen, A.J. Brown, CeeDee Lamb. And that's not saying I do not like CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb will still be a top 15 to 18 wide receiver for me.
A.J. Brown.
Pushing all the chips in. Push them all in.
Listen, A.J. Brown is not like A.J. Brown just didn't turn into dust. Okay,
yep.
Like he had some injuries, some things have happened.
But what if Ryan Tannehill did?
Last week they had a lead. They didn't have to do a whole lot. Like this is the ultimate buying opportunity for A.J. Brown. You can get him for dirt cheap. I think it's A.J. Brown 1, Keenan Allen 2, CeeDee Lamb 3.
Boom.
I have Keenan at 1. And then Lamb and AJB like in a tier. After I have Keenan in a tier by himself.
Yep.
AJB and Lamb there together. If I had to rank them, I think I'm going to go Lamb. I don't know if we can continue to see that Cowboys offense run the way that it has. Moving on to AB here. 1-4 at 12-team PPR. RBs are Eckler, Swift, Clyde, Harris, James Conner. Wide receivers, Adams, Woods, Myers, Anderson, Tony, MT. Tight end is Hawk. QB is streaming. Any moves I should try to make?
I feel like he's probably 1-4 because he faces some of these quarterbacks that go off. The streaming quarterbacks have actually been pretty decent this year so far, but they're only scoring, the 20 to 22 points. And if you face the Herbert or the Tom Brady that's going off, that can really sink you in a week. Andrew, if you can find, if someone has 2 quarterbacks and they're benching one, you can kind of make that move and say, hey, I'll give you Jacoby, who's been really good flex. If he starts scoring touchdowns, he could be a wide receiver 2 and maybe lock in a top 6 or 7 quarterback. I think that'd be the only move I would suggest. I really like your depth at wide receiver. And then once CEH is back healthy, I think your running backs are fine as well. Tight end Hawk's going to be better most weeks than not. So I think you can look to upgrade quarterback with how good your wide receiver room is.
Yeah, but I think once, so now we're into buys. I think you're going to start getting people, they're going to start dropping their second quarterbacks, right? Especially after they played and stuff like that. You're going to start seeing a lot of these guys get dropped through bye weeks, needing to make other moves. So this is a good team. Like I don't know how it's 1-4. Like, and it also could just be some bad luck that he's right where he's just played guys who just absolutely went off, which is the stone cold worst. Where your team scores 140 or something on that week, but you just happen to run the only guy in the league that happened to score 160 on that week or whatever, and everybody else scored well below you. So 1-4 it's not the end of the world, because I would assume that most people in your league, in a 12-team league, I would assume like sixth place, if that's who gets into the playoffs. Like I said before, I'll keep saying it. That's who you're aiming for. We're trying to get to sixth. We're not worried about first anymore. And so most of those teams are probably 2-3, or even possibly 3-2 at this point. So you're not that far off of them. I don't think I would make any drastic changes with this team. I mean, Eckler is solid, Swift is solid. Yes, you lost CEH. You probably need to work the waiver wire to get some running back depth in there. And then Devontae, Robert Woods, Myers. I mean, you're really solid at wide receiver as well. So I think you're good.
Matt Sims coming through with the super chat. Appreciate you doing that, Matt. Gaskin or Sanders, and follows it up with, can Gaskin go off again? I hope so.
Give me Sanders, hoping that he can replicate what Gaskin did against Tampa. I think that's going to be their game plan. Your run is going to be the short passes to the backs, be the extension of the run game. I'll go Sanders here.
I'm going Myles Gaskin.
I will also break the tie with Gaskin. And I hate it. I hate all of it. Gaskin. Appreciate you coming through with that super chat. Andrew T wants to know, should I trade Godwin and Patterson for D-Hop?
I don't think that's shooting high enough. I think Godwin and Hopkins is close enough.
Yeah.
Right, Godwin, just for Hopkins itself, you are upgrading. But again, we're talking about selling high. If you're just getting one player, I want to get a top 3 wide receiver, Diggs being that third one behind Hill and Adams. If you can't do that, I want another piece back.
I talked about both of these defense on the streamers video this week, so we're going to need you guys to break the tie here for Alfredo. Cowboys D versus the Pats, or Colts versus Houston?
Both good options here. Have him top 10 defenses, but I will go Dallas, and it might be the end of the interception streak now that I I'm finally believing in the Cowboys.
How about them Cowboys?
There it is.
Boom. There you go. Cowboys D it is. Caleb traded Gibson and Lamb for Edmonds and Diggs. Yay or nay?
I think he gave up a little bit. I think he gave up too much. It's not significant, but I do think he gave up a little bit more.
I do like the Gibson Lamb side. It's close, but I'd rather keep the strength at running back.
I mean, Edmonds has been good on his own right so far.
Just got to score. He's just got to score.
But when you're not getting goal line opportunities,
yep,
he is now Austin Eckler.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad trade, Caleb. I think we all just slightly prefer the Gibson side, but obviously you're upgrading there with Diggs.
Yes.
With the difference between there. So if you had the depth to be able to give up Gibson, maybe you hit on 3 out of 4 running backs or something like that. I don't mind it. I don't mind it if you're going there for the upgrade of wide receiver. Tam needs 2. Bobby Trees, Metcalf, Pittman, Cooks. Is there a ghost in your house, Kev? You have an intruder?
Give me a
what?
He's giggling. This is weird.
What?
So I answer this question. Answer this question, then I'll tell you. Let's answer this question.
Woods and Metcalf for me. I really like Pittman. I know Kev has him as I think he said top 20 guy. So I don't think you're going wrong if you did slide in Pittman, but I'm going to go Woods and Metcalf.
Kev, where are you leaning? Are you putting Pittman in over Metcalf?
No, I would actually go Metcalf and Pittman.
Metcalf and Pittman. Interesting. Why low on the Amazon forest here, Bobby Trees?
It's not that I'm low on him. I don't think I'm that far off.
Why do
But
you
I just
hate
had
him?
both of them ahead. What?
Why do you hate him?
I wasn't muted.
No,
Why do you hate
why
him?
do you hate him?
I just said I said I didn't hate him. I said I just have the other two a little bit higher. I have Metcalf at 16. I have Pittman at 19, and then I have Woods at 22.
I'll ask again. Why do you hate Robert Woods?
I don't hate him. I think that DK Metcalf is going to see plenty of targets. I think Michael Pittman is going to see plenty of targets. I think it's still possible for Robert Woods to go back a little bit more, where we overcorrect again and we go back to Cooper Kupp getting a lot of targets. No, it's not that I hate Robert Woods. I'd like to start all three if we could, but I think they're all solid wide receiver 2 options.
I would go Woods and Pittman, and now Kev, you need to explain yourself.
So I saw Raylan's random question, right? He said, "What's your favorite holiday?" Mine is Christmas, and then immediately my mind starts racing because, okay, for me, most people know. Well, a lot of people know mine is Christmas. Okay, and so I immediately started thinking. I was like, "Oh man, my setup now down here. Oh man, okay. Well, where I got my whole setup here is where I put my Christmas tree. Well, where am I going to put my Christmas tree at?" So then I start looking around, like, "Oh, well, maybe I can put it over there. I don't know about that. That's probably not the right spot. Look over here. Maybe I can put it over here." Like, my mind is just I wouldn't even listen to what you guys were talking about. I'm completely trying to figure out where the Christmas tree is going to go here in about a month and a half. When it goes up. So, yeah, I just lost it. I thought it was. So yes, it's Christmas and then everything else.
Yeah, I think your easy answer is Christmas. Definitely like Thanksgiving though, man. It is fantastic to get some good football. My Dallas Cowboys are always playing. Sometimes results may vary, as they say. But yeah, getting family together either way is fantastic. So both those holidays, but Christmas probably gets the edge.
I already know what Cody's gonna say.
All things considered, I think
Hanukkah.
I have to say Flag Day is by far my no, I'm going to say Thanksgiving, but only because of football and just you're like it's okay to just be an absolute piece of garbage all day long, right? You
I
just
thought you were
stuff
going to say the 4th of July. How did
Again, the only if there were not football played on Thanksgiving, it would be like Memorial Day or 4th of July.
Okay,
better food
with this, because I know me and Cody have talked about this. What is your favorite holiday food? What is your favorite holiday food? Like Thanksgiving style food,
yes,
or 4th of July, or whatever. Some food that you'd have for those holidays. What is your favorite?
Yeah, chat, drop it in. We're going to try and get some of these questions real quick. We are 40 minutes behind in typical TFA fashion. So let us know. Raylan, throwing this back to you. What is your favorite holiday food holiday? Let's phrase it that way. Your food holiday. Anthony Rico, which defense? Carolina, Tampa, or Chicago?
Chicago's out. Not playing them against Green Bay. It's Tampa. I'm not messing around. I really don't want to play Carolina against Minnesota either.
Yep, I have Tampa the highest as well.
Forgive Jonah. Should I trade Devonta Smith, Kadarius Toney, and Madison for Diggs?
Yes.
Down with that for show. Getting that for show. Is Gaskin or Cordarrelle at flex? Is Gaskin or Cordarrelle a flex start going forward? Have Dak, Hunt, Robinson, CD, Devontae, Kelsey, Gaskin, Patterson, benches Toney, Callaway, Parker, Landry on IR.
Yeah, Patterson's a flex, absolutely, with the usage he's been getting. Yeah, but he's also a sell. Anthony, he's definitely a sell.
But also in the flex consideration.
But also a flex.
Yes. Sell your flex. DB, someone in my league dropped Kittle. There's a way I can get him, but I have to limit. But I have limit 2 tight end players. IRA spot doesn't count.
So would he drop any of these guys? You're dropping Logan Thomas for Kittle.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Yeah. I mean, Logan Thomas has hurt himself.
Boom.
Yep. Simple. Zach, 12-man PPR, QB Dak, RB, Zeke Gibson, Dylan Gainwell, wide receiver, Terry, Mike Will, Deontay, A-Rob, Tony, Cobb, Mooney, St. Brown, tight end is Hawkinson. Any moves I should make? Been trying to target Diggs, but wide receiver room solid. So need some help thinking of a trade.
Would you guys do Mike Williams for Stephon Diggs?
If I own Diggs, I wouldn't.
Correct.
But this is I'm just why? Why are we trying to trade? Like this team, I was like, this has to be like a 10-team league. I was like, oh no, it's a 12-team league. Yeah. Like, this team is stacked. Like, I don't think you need to make any moves.
Nothing you have to do, but that's the question. When Mike Williams is the wide receiver 1 currently, would you sell him for what we expected going into the year, a top 3, top 4 wide receiver in a Stephon Diggs?
Sure, if you can, yeah.
I think that's absolutely in the cards. With
I don't. If I'm the Diggs owner, I'm not taking that.
People are pumped up about Mike Williams' production. I think you can get that
as they should.
Yeah,
as they should. I mean, if you can get that done, absolutely. But it sounds like the problem Zach is coming across here is that the Diggs owner also has a solid wide receiver room, so that seems to be the rub.
Okay, fair.
I mean, I'm not going to add an A-Rob to Mike Will to go get Diggs. Not doing Deontay. And then after that,
yep.
You know what I mean? Like, it's none of those guys are going to make you want to do that. And then at running back, you're not going to add, Zeke or Gibson. Maybe if you could do something where the Diggs owner if you could take like a step down at running back, you know what I mean? Trade a Zeke or a Gibson, go down maybe 3 or 4 kind of players there to try and make up that difference from going from Mike Will to Diggs. Maybe you could do it that way, because outside of that, you're not going to add any of these other receivers unless you can package them up and get Diggs plus back, but you're not going to do it for just Diggs.
Yeah.
Zach, what I would suggest doing, join the Discord, send us a screenshot of the other owner's roster, and we'll see if we can come up with a match for you there. So this is going way back to Ashton's question. 5-0, $181 out of a $200 budget. How much would you spend on Booker? Because Darrell Williams is rostered.
I saw him go. So waivers ran this morning for most of my leagues. He went for roughly 35 to 40% of fab, which is a lot, especially if he's only 2 weeks. So that's what you'd have to spend to get him, and I would not spend that. I'm for a 2 to 3 week player that won't have much. He won't really have any use once Barkley's back. I'm only spending maybe 25% of that. So probably 25% is what you're throwing out, and see if you can get him.
Yeah, do not overspend. Not a great matchup. Barkley not going to be out that long. I'm going Ricky Seals-Jones here for Mike. Full PPR, Cook, or RSJ.
Yeah.
Looks like Robbie is in agreement, so Kev, does not matter what you say. Mark Da Silva, full PPR, redraft, keeper. Kev, I am going to throw this one to you since you are the keeper guy around these parts. Traded A-Rob, Gainwell, Dylan. My first and second for Taylor, Malcolm Brown, and
Marquise.
4th and 5th picks. Has to be Marquise, right?
Yep.
Kev, what are your thoughts here for Mark? So basically, let's say it's A-Rob, a 1 and a 2 for JT, Brown, 4 and 5.
There's generally speaking, outside of, depending on, I would assume that the rookies are, that's usually, especially like in a keeper league, those are the guys that usually go first. At least like you have your rookie running backs. Like I know for this year, you probably had Najee that went in the first round. Even Javonte probably went in the first round of keeper leagues, depending on, it really depends on how many you keep and it depends on how many you're able to keep. Would matter to me because of the what quality of players are going to be sitting there, whatever your picks come up right in the first and second, because obviously there's no round restrictions or anything like that. And so if that's the case, I mean, obviously getting Jonathan Taylor is fantastic. You didn't really give up anything to get him, and Marquise Brown, so I think he did really well there. And I would just look at like Jonathan Taylor is your first round pick next year. And so I mean, you would definitely take him there, and Marquise Brown, so I don't hate it. You got your fourth and a fifth back, and so I think you did well.
Zach already coming through in the Discord. Love to see that. Zach, we will get your question here. I have to jump off in about 10-15 minutes because my child is refusing to go to sleep without daddy. So I will get to that here in a minute. Kyle wants to know, do I drop somebody? And Kyle, thank you for coming back. Do I drop someone for Rondale Moore? Running backs, obviously, we're not dropping probably any of the top three. So Sony, Bolden, wide receivers, Sterling, Ruggs, Mooney, maybe somebody in that
Sony
area.
or Bolden, for sure.
I'd do Bolden or Ruggs for me.
I mean, I think you could drop Sony Michel too if you wanted, but yeah, Bolden is definitely I'm way less likely to want to drop Sony than I would want to drop Bolden. I think Bolden's easily you can drop him.
Agreed. Xavier, have a trade on the line: Julio, Kittle, and Carson for Devonta Smith, Robert Woods, and Hunter Henry. Do I accept?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the only part of it's tough is Chris Carson, right? Because if Chris Carson's able to come back and be fine, then you probably want that side, right? I feel like Hunter Henry really doesn't matter all that much to me. So it's really Devonta Smith and Robert Woods. And right now, with the way the Chris Carson status looks, like it looks like it's not that you should be fine, but it is tough.
Jay-Z, should I trade Jonathan Taylor and Woods for Kamara and Michael Thomas?
Yes, but them being on the same team,
I would say no. Yeah,
kind of limits my excitement on this. If it's Kamara and another wide receiver of that level, I'd be more in favor.
But do you guys think that just really quickly on Michael Thomas, like, are you guys looking to go out and buy him?
I don't think the time to do is now because he's just potentially a week away, right?
But he has no real value, right? And I think after what he did last year and everything else, like, depending on what it costs, because I don't think he's a bad buy right now. Like, I mean, he has really no value, and he didn't really do great last year either when he came back. Like, his value is nothing compared to what, and I still think he could end up being a home run for you in the second half of the season. So depending on what it would cost, let's say it costs, a low end wide receiver 2, high end wide receiver 3 option. Would you?
Jacoby Myers like player? Yes.
Yeah.
Michael Pittman like player? I don't think I would. He's kind of right in that range with those other guys. I probably have him when he comes back, a low wide receiver 2 to start.
Yeah, I'm keeping JT there. Kel's 22, AB or Michael Pittman and a half PPR.
Michael Pittman.
I'm going to go AB there.
Pittman for me.
Okay.
All right, boys. We've got to jump off here. Any other questions that we are not getting to, jump in the Discord and I will answer them. And we will see you guys on Friday for Prop Talk and obviously DFS with Kev tomorrow. So thank you guys. Good luck, and I will talk to you guys soon.
I was afraid he might click end the broadcast.
Yeah, again. I was like, wait, what are we doing here? He's not leaving, right? Like
he was announcing as if we were all going. I was a little nervous there.
Look, and we just dropped. He made it sound like, he this grand exit. Anyways, Jared Cook or Ricky Seals-Jones for Kells?
Just had this question. I've got Ricky Seals-Jones a spot ahead of Cook. I like the workload he's been getting.
I'm going to go Jared Cook there. Bryce, CD or Robert Woods in full PPR?
Man, that's close. I'm gonna go CD Lamb though. I don't think you're wrong with the Robert Woods talk where they could overcorrect. I think it's gonna be a balance between what we saw in the first 4 weeks and what we saw there in week 5. I do think he's gonna be still solid, but most weeks I think I'm gonna take CD over him.
Yeah, I'm gonna go CD Lamb on this one. Kyle again. Which defense this week? Bengals, Dolphins, or Vikings?
I think I want to go Bengals here.
Yeah, you can play against Detroit.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Dolphins get Jacksonville, turnover prone, but I'm gonna go Bengals over Dolphins.
Yeah. Should I give up Chubb for Darrell Henderson and Deontay Johnson or CeeDee Lamb? I'm leaning no. What do you think?
Man,
yes.
I think that's
if I can
fair.
get Darrell Henderson and Deontay Johnson for Nick Chubb, yeah, I'm about that.
I agree.
I mean, because Darrell Henderson's been a borderline RB1 himself, and with Chubb not really getting any pass catching work, and then Deontay, especially now with Juju out for the year. Oh man, like these guys, him and Claypool are going to see so many targets, and Najee for that matter as well. So, yes, I would make that move. Full PPR, you starting Swift or AJ Brown in the flex?
Swift.
Should I drop Myers for Tony? No. Like Jacoby Myers is literally a touchdown away, getting some touchdown to really being a solid wide receiver too.
Yes. I traded him away. I needed some quarterback help, struggling without Russell Wilson. So I traded him for Jalen Hurts, which I thought was a fantastic trade to get a quarterback. But man, he's going to start getting touchdowns. I'm going to be pissed.
He was like at the half-inch line.
Inch
line last
right
week.
There.
Yeah. All right. Anthony, is Chubb an RB1? Would you sell high and for who? Rodgers, Chubb, Henry, Godwin, Odell, Kelsey, Cordero, benches, Landry, Darrell Henderson, or Darrell Williams, excuse me, Henry, Ruggs, James Conner, J.D. McKissick, full man 10 PPR.
Yes, he is a running back one. This offense runs enough to support both him and Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt more of a running back 2, high-end flex most weeks. So yes, he is running back 1. You could sell him, but I don't think you have to with what you have here. I think you're going to create a hole at running back if you try and get better at wide receiver.
Yeah, because Darrell Williams is a short-term ad, and honestly, I mean, we already heard it. The Chiefs immediately started looking out for making trades for Marlon Mack, and so if the Chiefs were to go out and trade for Marlon Mack, now Darrell Williams is no depth, and depending on what you get back for Chubb, you could end up being just creating more issues than what you. I don't think you make any move. I would agree with that.
Yep.
Who should I start this week at flex? Mixon, Tony, Emmanuel, Cooks, or Marvin Jones PPR? I'm going Joe Mixon.
I'm going Joe Mixon as well.
I mean, they are playing the Cincinnati Bengals, they're playing the Detroit Lions. I know that he was limited last week, and Samaje Perine got more opportunities in that backfield. But I think with another week, I think he gets back to being the 80% touch guy in this backfield, and we play running backs against Detroit. So
yes, we do.
Knox or Tyler Higbee? This is Knox, and it's not even close for me.
I think you guys are a little high on Knox. I think those touchdowns might start to fade, and you're like, oh, he's only getting 5 and 4 targets. Ugh, don't love that so much.
He's still running an incredibly high amount of routes. I mean, everything else is there. It's one of the best offenses in the league. The touchdown upside for him is always going to be there, and they're actually starting to utilize him more, downfield and stuff like that. And so, I don't hate it either. But I think Tyler Higbee's fine, but Tyler Higbee hasn't really done anything either. So, I mean, I get it that Dawson Knox is being supported by the touchdowns, but
that's tight end. I can agree with
so
that.
For me, it's just Dawson Knox, great matchup, so.
Yeah, Higbee in a great matchup as well. Both these tight ends have fantastic matchups. Should be top 8 tight ends for both of us.
Secret Pittman, Marvin Jones, or Tony at flex full PPR. I'm going Pittman.
I'm going Pittman, but I do like Marvin Jones to bounce back after Jamal Agnew. What is this?
Urban Meyer. I mean, it's what it is. Urban Meyer's an idiot. Another question here from Uzi. Rondell Moore, Damian Harris, or Darnell Mooney. Choose one for flex. I'm going to go Darnell Mooney.
I thought you might. I'm going to go Rondell Moore. I respect why you would like Darnell Mooney. You're thinking Chicago has to throw more to stay in this game. If it's going to be an AB game or an Allen Robinson game, I don't know if it can be both him and Mooney. I'm going to take Rondell Moore.
I like them both, but yeah, it's yeah. So Tyler, one flex PPR, AB, Darrell Williams, or Devonta Smith.
Oh my gosh, these are really good flex options. I like them all. I'm probably going to go Devonta Smith.
I'm going to go Darrell Williams. It's close. I think him and Devonta Smith. Devonta Smith, I think, is their next play. Devonta Smith has just had some bad luck. He had a touchdown called back against the Chiefs. That should have been a touchdown. He had a touchdown last week that was called back.
Hurts has had 4 passing touchdowns called back due to weird penalties, legal motion, that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Rager stepping out of bounds. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like them both, but I would just slightly lean towards Darrell Williams.
I think the one thing, just real quick, because I know we got to catch up. I feel like I'm flipping into your chair here. I feel like Jerick McKinnon actually takes more of the pass work than we'd like to admit with Darrell Williams. I know he got it in this last game. He got more than CEH has gotten in a game all year, but I do think they're going to split a little bit more than we think going in.
Pick and pop. Julio Jones or Sterling Shepard? This is Julio.
Julio.
Should I start Heineke against the bad Chiefs secondary or Joe Burrow in a 2 QB league as my QB2? It's Joe Burrow.
Yeah. Heineke's fine. I'm not starting over Joe Burrow.
No. Because, I mean, they're still going to have to, I think sometimes when it comes to these types of games, when we think it could be a blowout, we still forget that they have to get there, right? They have to score the points to get there to the blowout. So fantasy points are still going to accumulate here. And I know a lot of think that and very, 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 very rarely do a team they're going to pull their starters at halftime. That never happens, you know? And so this is also a fantastic matchup for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh yeah.
And so, yeah, give me Joe Burrow. Is Damian Williams and Sutton enough to trade for AJ Brown? If you can make that happen, I'm about that life. Absolutely. Now, is the other guy going to accept it? Probably not. But, I don't know. I don't know.
People, I'm telling you, man, and this is why I like how you said on Debo, because I probably wasn't shooting high like I should have, but I said it with Cordell Patterson and Mike Williams. People, they don't always look to what's happened in previous years. They're like, man, this guy's been crushing it for me these 5 weeks. Or on this flip side for AJ Brown, he has been doing nothing for me. Scored a touchdown week 1, was it? Hasn't done anything since. I think people get disappointed in these players and they lower them to a point where Sutton's had 2 good weeks. Damian Williams should be the guy, right? I think you could sell it.
Yeah. I agree there. So yeah, if you can make this happen, absolutely. D-Boy, possibly looking to shop Aaron Jones due to AJ Dillon taking more and more touches from him. Should I sell him or keep him? You should keep him. You're not going to get as much as you think you're going to. And Aaron Jones is going to be fine. He still had over 100 yards last week. He did find the end zone. This is kind of Aaron Jones, right? He's going to give you weeks where he's only going to get you 12, 14, right? We saw last year with Jamal Williams, whenever he was there, right? And this is kind of the same thing. And so, listen, but he's also going to absolutely explode like he did, week 2, where he went off for 40-some fantasy points. He's still the pass catcher here. AJ Dillon is just being utilized in the secondary side of this, a little bit more like Jamal Williams. Aaron Jones is the most efficient running back we've seen. Him and Alvin Kamara have been the most efficient running backs we've seen over the last 2 or 3 years. Nothing's changed. And so we're not trading Aaron Jones, especially when his value is going to be lower than what it should be. So no,
his value is always lower due to it being Aaron Jones. He's always underrated, and he's been doing this for 2 years, right? This Jamal Williams was always siphoning touches away, always getting pass work. And what did Aaron Jones do week in, week out? Put up points, running back 2 at the end of the year in 2019, running back 5 at the end of 2020.
Yeah. Emmanuel, happy Wednesday night on your end. Happy Thursday to you? Because I think he's ahead.
I would guess he's ahead.
Should I give up Cousins, Chubb, Melvin Gordon, or Mooney for Aaron Jones and Deontay Johnson? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a thing, but I guess Chubb, with how well he's been playing, you could. Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely do that. Gabe, should I flex Cortland Sutton or Darrell Williams this week?
Darrell Williams for me.
I have a feeling this is just going to go all wrong. Because
How
I've
much
said
worth
so
it?
much Darrell Williams. Yeah, I would agree. I'm going to go there too. Hey, shout out from Wyoming. Shout out to you. Shout out to you in Wyoming. Should I be scared to start Keenan Allen and Mike Williams together each week? Yes and no. I mean, obviously, this offense has looked absolutely elite, and so whenever this offense goes off, yeah, it's going to be fantastic, and fantasy points are going to ground. But more often than not, I think one is going to cannibalize each other a little bit on a week-to-week basis. So I would be looking to move one of them if you can. And obviously, Mike Williams is going to be the easier one to move because of how well he's played. I think you could probably get a haul back for Mike Williams, but it's up to you and really what you can get.
Yep.
Is that how you feel?
Yep, exactly. You can only score one touchdown when they're in the red zone. Whereas if you have, I said Stephon Diggs before, maybe you can't get him. You have to settle for who's that next tier down? I'd say AJ Brown, normally DK Metcalf, normally, but they have their own situations. But maybe that next tier down, right? They're both in the red zone. Allen and this other player, you can score touchdowns on both. So yes, I would try and move Mike Williams if you can.
Yeah. Pick 2 for my running back spot this week: Damian Harris, Damian Williams, Madison at Cook since again, Darrell Williams, and Zach Moss. Appreciate you guys. For me, I will say it's easily it's Zach Moss, and I'm going to go with Darrell Williams.
I'm going to go the 2 Williams, Darrell and Damian over Zach Moss.
Yeah, I think Cooks plays. So that would be that. Now, if Dalvin Cook sits again, then I'm going to go Alexander Madison and Darrell Williams. I do think it's close between Damian, Darrell, and Zach Moss. Because I do think that Damian Williams is more likely to be the pass catcher of the two between him and Khalil Herbert. Khalil Herbert, exactly what I said last week. What I thought that he was going to be far more involved in this offense than what people thought, and he turned out to be. Now, do I think that he's going to get 18 carries this week? No. But I think that he's probably earned himself, I think, 10 to probably 12 touches a game, somewhere around there, maybe 10 to 15, depending on how the game script goes. This is not the game script that I think that I would want to I think it leans more towards a Damian Williams type of game. But I just prefer Zach Moss and Darrell Williams a little bit more. That would be mine. But if Cook was out, it would be Madison and Darrell Williams. Would it be the same for you, or?
Yeah. Madison missed practice as well. It's only Wednesday, so probably not worried about that. I think Cooks plays, so I'd go to Williams.
Okay, I give Najee for JT or Darrell Henderson and Debo. Would you accept? If you could do JT and Debo and for Najee, yes, I would do that.
Yeah, it'd have to be the JT side. But, man, I'm excited about Najee, especially with Juju out, man. I think he can be a top 5 back going forward. Very excited about his outlook.
Love that. Love it. Kareem Hunt or Brandon Cooks, half point PPR. I'm going to go Kareem Hunt here.
Yep, Hunt for me.
Grade this team: Kyler Murray, Saquon, Najee Harris, Edmonds, Diggs, Keenan Allen, AJ Pittman. A-.
Yeah, A-. I really like this team. I think it's going to get better as the year goes on as well, with Najee and Kyle Pitts and AJ Brown doing a turnaround.
Got to go with sweet potato pie, mac and cheese, and roasted turkey. I'm not a turkey guy. I am a ham guy, but the rest of it sounds excellent. Sweet potato pie is fantastic. Gibson or Darrell Williams? It's Gibson.
Yep.
Should I start Damian or Darrell Williams as RB2? I've already said I would go Darrell.
Yeah, this one I think a lot of people have questions on between these two guys and Booker, and the way I have it ranked is Darrell, then Damian, then Booker. So I know that'll be a lot of questions I think on on the Sunday morning show.
Blast Tyrant Crow. D. Harris and Chase Edmonds got dropped. Just picked up Darrell Williams. Should I drop a wide receiver off bench for either? Saquon, Henderson, Carson, Patterson, Darrell Williams now on the roster. What wide receiver? I don't know. That'd be the question. Because Chase Edmonds, I don't know why he would have got dropped as well as he's played. So absolutely, depending on the wide receiver, I don't know how big this league is. I don't want to tell you to drop some like great wide receiver for Chase Edmonds, but let us know who the wide receiver is, and but more than likely the answer is going to be yes. Drop Landry.
Yep. And I'd be fine dropping Tony for Edmonds as well. But yeah, Landry and then Tony.
Yeah. I did not see that. Okay. Should I give up Cousins, Chubb, Melvin? Oh, we already answered that, did we? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Did I win this trade? I gave away Diggs and Burrow, and I received Josh Allen and DK Metcalf. Also, should I Gibson or Woods this week? Gave away Diggs and Burrow, and I received Josh Allen and DK Metcalf.
I think the upgrade to Allen from Burrow will be enough to offset your downgrade from Diggs to Metcalf, especially with Geno instead of Russell Wilson. I think that's fine. And I'm going Gibson over Woods.
Yes, the Chiefs are surprised, absolutely horrendous against the run as well. So
and the pass.
Yes. But I don't know. I have this feeling that the Chiefs are going to crush.
Slaughter them. Oh,
yes,
I absolutely have that same feeling. Absolutely.
they're going to come out and just lay the hammer down on them this week. We'll see. But
they match up really well with them, right? The Washington football team, not great against the pass. The weapons that Mahomes has. I mean, it should shape up as a bloodbath.
Oh, we already got that. Is Kenny G droppable at this point? I mean, I don't know. It depends on who you're picking up for him. I would say no. It's way too early in the season. We're headed into week 6. There's a lot of football left. I would not be dropping him. But if there's somebody out there, I mean, I don't know what level of league you're in, but no, I would not be probably dropping Kenny Galladay. Oh man, Uzi, how many times did we ask this?
He's just oozing these questions.
I know. It's just spray shot it. How much fab are you spending on Tony?
I'm honestly not going in too hard on Tony. I know he's looked fantastic. I was a guy that was not as low on him as others coming into the pre-draft process because I thought that what he did really well was getting the ball electric in space. But we've seen him now have a good week 4, week 5. They had nobody else, Kev, literally nobody else to throw to. And so he has that week. Now he has, even when Daniel Jones comes back, and I love the way Daniel Jones has been playing, you have Sterling Shepard, Kenny Galladay will eventually be back, Evan Ingram, Saquon. I just think there's too many options where I'm not going to go in. I'm going to save this for a running back, that the starter gets injured in front of him. I'm only going maybe 10% here.
I would probably be willing to go 25, 30% if I had to, but I mean,
there's a need. What's the need too, right? Are you rolling out Jamison Crowder or something like that? Then that might change it for me.
Elver G, full PPR, choose one. Hollywood, AJ. Okay, it's Hollywood Brown. Oh, I did not see this. Luis, appreciate the $2. Really do appreciate that. Appreciate all the support everybody gives. It really means a lot. That's why we do this, to try to help back. I can tell you this. The best feeling I get every week is any comment that we see that says, hey, man, I really appreciate the help last week. You helped me win my league. Or, hey, we won this week. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I was going to go here. You guys talked me into this. That is more gratifying to me than anything else that people do. So I do appreciate all the support we've gotten and everybody's interaction every single week. It makes it worthwhile. So need to Myers, Higgins, Pittman, or Shenault. I'm going to go Pittman and Myers.
Yeah, I don't hate it at all. I like Myers going against Dallas this week. I'm going to go Pittman and Higgins, though. I think Higgins is always a great shot for a touchdown. He's worked in really well coming off the injury. I think he continues that with the Bengals against the Lions.
Sent to Diggs in my okay. Yeah, we'll check it out as soon as we're done here. We'll check it out. If Cody hasn't already got to it, if not, we'll check it out and we'll see what we can do to help you out there, Zach, on that one. SB Sanders, Carson, Alex Collins, Williams. Is that Jamal or Javante?
Probably Javante.
Need to pick one. I'm gonna go Javante if that's who it is.
Yeah, I like Javante this week. I get it. He's splitting with Melvin Gordon, but he's being super efficient most weeks. He had a couple weeks where he wasn't. And like I told you guys earlier, he's had 10 receptions in the past 3 games. Every little bit helps. So I'm going to go him over Miles Sanders. And then we don't know what's going to happen with Chris Carson and Alex Collins right now.
I think we both probably agree on this, but choose one stash for the end of season, Javante Williams.
Yes, absolutely.
It's not even close.
But man, I if they're both out there, I'd like to find a way to get Elijah Mitchell. Unfortunately, as the Trey Sermon guy, he got all of the work and looks like he could be kind of the back for the 49ers, and we want the running back for the 49ers.
Yeah. Okay. Kirk Cousins or Taylor Heineke rest of season? Kirk Cousins.
Cousins, yeah.
There's still a chance Ryan Fitzpatrick comes back and takes the job back.
Yes.
So, it would be Kirk Cousins for me. Would you guys trade Evans and Gaskins for Justin Jefferson? Yes.
Yes.
Mark, Fournette or T. Higgins for flex? I'm going to go with T. Higgins.
Yeah. I admit that's getting close. Fournette getting the bulk of the work and getting that receiving work from Giovanni Bernard makes him a lot more enticing. He's kind of jumped up into the running back 2 range for me outside when he usually was a flex. All that said, I'm going to go T. Higgins.
Yeah. Nino, flex, DeAndre Swift or Robert Woods? I'm going Swift.
Swift.
Zach, I have both, but interested in your thoughts. Would you send Mike Williams to receive Terry McLaurin?
See, that's where I asked you guys if you guys would do Mike Williams for Stephon Diggs, because that's almost the level now. Like if we see 2 more weeks of Mike Williams going off, I don't think you trade him for anybody not named Devontae Adams or Tyreek Hill. Like he's getting close with the 1 down week where I think he's at that level with Terry McLaurin, where I don't know if you get better long-term with Terry. Probably, but I'm at a point where I don't want to do that 1-for-1 trade.
I think I still want Terry long-term. I don't think that Mike Williams is going to be sustained to be a top 3 wide receiver the rest of the year.
Nope. But top 10?
I think low end top 10 is possible for him.
And that's kind of where Terry's at, right? And I guess that's my point. Like they're
I think you're probably right. I think you get more. Now the good news is for Zach, he actually has both of them, so it doesn't really matter. But would you guys trade Swift for Cook or keep Swift rest of season full PPR? I mean, if you could trade DeAndre Swift for Dalvin Cook, yeah, I'm probably going to make that trade. I know the health has not been on his side this year, and that's kind of always the concern with Dalvin Cook because he ends up missing time. But the upside of Dalvin Cook is so insane of what he brings to the table, and we know that they are going to commit to him, and he is going to get 75 to 80% of the opportunities in that backfield and everything else when he's healthy. Yep. Well, you can't say that for Swift. So yes, I would definitely do that if you could make that trade.
Yep, agree.
How to trade Sanders for Diggs? I've got Waller, Schultz, Damian Harris, Davis, Fournette, Gaskin, Sanders, Tyreek, Myers, Bateman. He's got Miles Sanders, Lockett, Hockenson, Jamal Williams, Curtis Samuel.
Oh, hold on here. How to trade Sanders for Diggs, but he's got Miles Sanders. And I don't think any trade for Diggs is going to involve Miles Sanders right now. That's not your core piece to get Diggs.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot more than Miles Sanders.
I'm confused who has Sanders here. Maybe he's talking about Emmanuel Sanders for Diggs, Manny Sanders, because he notes Sanders up under his list. Sanders, Tyreek, Myers, Bateman.
Yeah, he's got Miles Sanders. So, I'm assuming he's saying he's got Emmanuel Sanders.
I think he's saying how to trade Emmanuel Sanders for Diggs. Again, still not at that level. You're going to have to – I think, yeah, it's going to have to be like Sanders and Myers and Fournette kind of deal to get Diggs. This is a 3-for-1 or a 2-for-1. You're not getting – yeah. has to be multiple players to get Diggs.
Higgins or Myers for the rest of season?
Man, if Myers starts finding that end zone, it's gonna be really close. But I'm gonna stick with Higgins here.
I think it is Higgins right now, but I do agree. I think it's very close for him to be that guy.
Because I think we need to look at this Patriots team as they're not the Patriots with Cam Newton. They are throwing over 35 times per game. Mac Jones is peppering Jacoby Myers with targets, and I think that needs to be recognized. Where I do think since he eventually starts throwing more, that we saw it a little bit last week, and Higgins is a much better touchdown scorer. But man, if Myers just starts scoring, he'll be fantastic for teams.
Oh, I agree. Tony, aloha, guys. Amari Cooper or Michael Pittman for flex. Chase Edmonds is another option. I'm going to go.
How high can you go?
I gotta go. I'm going to go Amari. I have Amari at 17, and I have Pittman at 19. So I'm going to go Cooper.
Amari at 16 for me, so we're eye to eye there. I will go Amari as well.
Muted. Should I make a trade for a quarterback in the super flex? 3 wide receiver, 1 flex league. Heineke, Ryan Wentz, Dimes, running back Zeke, Mixon, Saquon. No,
Yeah, well, I do. Just right off the bat, I haven't even looked anything past the quarterbacks. If this is super flex and you're carrying 4 of them, I'm trying to package 2 of those to somebody who just lost Wilson. They just lost. I guess you have Danny Dimes. Other quarterbacks that have been injured. Am I missing? Maybe somebody that has a bye week, right? Winston's on a bye. See if you can package 2 of those guys. Maybe Ryan, since he's on a bye, Heineke, and upgrade a little bit at quarterback. So you actually have, because you don't have a quarterback 1 right now. You have a bunch of quarterback 2s on your team, and I'd like to get a quarterback 1 on your team.
Excuse you. Well, I'm not sure now, but I'm pretty sure heading into this past week, Danny Dimes was a QB1. Okay, so excuse you on that.
The 2
but
times
it's not a true. I get it. It's not a true quarterback.
The 2 times I've had Danny Dimes in my top 10 just been duds. I think it was week 3, threw him in there. Nope. And then this last week got hurt.
Well, it would help if the Cowboys weren't so damn dirty and now you're trying to knock players out. I mean,
hey, whatever we got to do to get a win.
Yeah, it's for the star. Kyle, 12-team PPR, Darnold, Tanny, running back, Najee, Zeke, Dylan, Sony, Bolden, Terry, Amari, Mooney, Shepard, Hawk. Started 3-0, lost 2 in a row. What should I do? Carr, Teddy, Jones, Winston, Tua, Heineke, and waivers.
I think. Go ahead.
I think you stick with Darnold.
Yeah, I think you hold tight right now. You're probably not going to get a better quarterback. I don't know if you can do a two for 1 because you're only starting 1 quarterback, so nobody needs the 2, right? So you're probably not getting anything done that way. But yeah, the only thing I would look at is maybe upgrading your quarterback. Other than that, you just got to ride it out. You have a couple down weeks. Hawk hasn't quite done anything. Better weeks to come. MT coming back. You're going to have better weeks there. Your running back core has been doing well. That's been saving you.
Would you pick up Rondale?
I do Rondale over Ruggs. I think I noted that in a different question.
Yeah, I think they already talked about that. Yeah. So I would go Rondale more over Bolden. I think you said over Ruggs. So.
Oh yeah. Also Bolden. Yes, Bolden first and then Ruggs.
Yeah. Pick 1: Higgins, Bobby Trees.
We've hit this question before. Higgins for me.
It's Bobby Trees for me on this. Would you start Tony over Hollywood or AJ Brown? No.
Mm-mm.
Also, need an RB2, Damian or Darrell? We've already answered this, man. This is going to be the question. It's going to be Darrell Williams for me.
Yep.
Hector, Melvin Gordon or Gainwell on flex?
Oh gosh, Gordon probably just based on volume. I know Cody was talking about Gainwell, being a PPR guy going against the Bucs, but Gainwell's only had, I think, 1 game over 3 receptions. He's really not actually that involved in the passing game. I think that's what we know him to be coming out of Memphis, right? But he hasn't been that involved.
Should I stash Jerry Judy on IR only a $5 a week? Oh, so they got to pay to put somebody on IR.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've seen leagues like that. They're
actual $5 too. Well, did I see a report where Judy's actually pretty close to coming back? Like it might just be another week or so.
Yeah, I think even last week there was talk about him being he's ahead of schedule, and so he definitely could be back in the next few weeks. So, yeah, I mean, if I think you could, I would. It's up to you. I mean, if you have the money and $5 a week isn't that big of a deal, yeah, I would because I think you get him back. It may take a week or two for him to kind of get going again, especially from a high ankle sprain, because those injuries tend to linger on a little bit for a few weeks after they come back. But I think Jerry Judy is definitely somebody that I would want to have. So,
yeah. Also, thank you for the super sticker. Love it. You guys are fantastic. Fantastic listeners every single Wednesday night, Thursday night. Kev's gone. He doesn't want to be here anymore. I'll rock it solo here for a little bit. Let's go. Fine, we'll bring Kev back.
On my side of my mouse, I accidentally clicked the back button. So.
What are we thinking here with Saquon? He's got his team of Hurtsborough. You're fine there. Saquon, Carson, Latavius, Javonte Mitchell. Yeah, you're hurting at quarterback, or excuse me, at running back a little bit. Yeah, I think you have enough wide receiver talent to try and make a move, or just maybe hit waivers a little bit. There's a lot of running backs that just came up. I know most people's waivers ran this morning. Maybe you didn't get any of these guys. Maybe you got Herbert and that was your pickup. But I think he could make a move trading I don't know who you trade. I traded Myers, but again, if he gets some touchdowns, I feel like you're not selling him at his height. But I definitely think he needs help at running back. What would you do here, Kev?
I would want to know what your record is. Like, are you 5-0, 4-1? I mean, I guess by looking at it, I doubt you're 5-0 unless you just run hot against some teams. I think there's probably a 3-2 team, or maybe even 2-3, just depending on how things have turned out. But like, I hate just trading just to try to fill. Okay, yeah, he's 3-2, and so yeah, I don't think you have to go out and do anything wild with this one. Because Saquon could be back next week, and so you're making these moves and you're trading away pieces, and now did you just for 1 week did you create a bigger hole somewhere else? And so like for this week, I think you probably roll Javonte and Elijah Mitchell's on bye. So Javonte and I guess Latavius Murray.
See, that's the problem. I don't want to lose another week and go to 3-3 because I don't have a running back.
Yeah, but I mean, you're trading for okay. So you're essentially good. Then you're trading for what? This, and what are you giving? At that point,
he's got 5 wide receivers though.
I don't think Jacoby Myers is going to net you that much.
That's probably fair.
And then so maybe you'd have to probably trade AB.
AB, I think, would be my target. Because here's the thing, Kev, let's say this is a standard league where you start 2 wide receivers, and Mets, you can answer this. You're starting 2 wide receivers and a flex. You're benching Myers most weeks, right? When Julio's back, you're going to decide between
Julio
and Myers.
It's 2 wide receivers, 2 flex.
Right? Oh, okay. I can read it. Just got to read for myself here. You're probably benching 2 of these wide receivers. If MT comes back, you're going to have decisions to make. I think you absolutely can move one of these guys. Make your start sit easier on yourself most weeks. If you move him and Elijah Mitchell and upgrade to Darrell Henderson or someone in that realm, Antonio Gibson, if you could get that done, that would be fantastic. I think that's what I'd want to do because then you're not taking that hit. I don't think you're going to win this week if you're rolling out Javonte and Latavius. That's not a winning formula at running back.
Yeah, I guess it would end up just depending on what that you could get for him to make it work. Yeah,
got to get that homework done. Burning the midnight oil.
Yeah, and if not, we'll be if we're not still live, which I don't know I don't think we will be. But what we will be is Discord. You can find us in there as well. So, I have a manual.
Yeah,
that must be in regard to that trade.
Yep, he has a manual. So this is the manual for Diggs. Yeah, Carp, you're going to need to add to Emmanuel Sanders. You're going to have a big name in there, I think. Would you, I don't think I want to move off of Waller. I think I'm leaving Waller alone. I don't know if Fournette has that pull yet, but he has studs, and then he has a lot of like flex level guys. That's the problem here. It's gonna be hard to get Diggs, but this is the time to trade for him before he goes off. If you can package something for Fournette, Myers, Sanders, Emmanuel Sanders, those three for Diggs, I think that's maybe your best bet.
I don't think he needs a wide receiver though. He needs running backs.
He does. His running back room is. He's got to have somebody hurt, right?
Extremely poor. I mean, you're talking about Damian Harris, Mike Davis, Fournette, and Gaskin. I mean, Fournette has been good, and then I guess Gaskin. But I mean, this isn't a great running back spot either.
He's got to have somebody hurt because I'm not seeing any names that were drafted in the first 3 rounds at running back.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you go Tyreek in the first. Maybe you go Waller in the second.
Zero RB strategy to the T.
So, yeah. Start Knox or Schultz. It's going to be Knox for me.
Schultz for me.
Full PPR. Should I hold tight on Thielen or start Michael Pittman this week? And should I hold tight on Hockenson or start Dalton Schultz this week?
I think you're starting Michael Pittman. Thielen's fine. He did not have a good game this last week, but he's fine, and he does score a lot of touchdowns. So I think you're going to be fine most weeks. But I'm going to go Pittman over Thielen, and then I'm going to go Hockenson, sticking with Hockenson, even though Dalton Schultz has been hot. I do think Hockenson turns it around.
Yeah, Thielen is just absolutely touchdown dependent. I mean, you look at his first 3 weeks, there's no surprise. He scored 2 touchdowns, 1 touchdown, 30, 15, and 17, right? And the sad thing is he still only has 1 wide receiver 1 week. I mean, he went 6 for 39 and with a score for 15.9, which saved him week 2. And then week 3, he still only went 6 for 50 and a touchdown for 17. So then the last 2 weeks, he did score a touchdown, 7.6 and 6. So he's just very much touchdown dependent. And so I would go Michael Pittman here. And then you're starting Hockenson. What do you think of the Mike Williams knee injury? Do you think he'll be okay? Yeah, I think he's going to be fine.
Yep.
Start Burrow or Donald Burrow?
Ooh. Probably Burrow. I mean, Burrow 11, Darnold 12. Burrow.
Brian, Wentz, Chubb, Harris, Godwin, Pittman, Ertz, Pitts on bye or flex, Damian Williams, Darrell Williams, defense, Pitt, bench, Julio, OBJ, Mooney, Hubbard, Tim Patrick, Darnold. Thoughts?
Yeah, Brian has had some rough times here. I think he had Wilson. He's 0-5. So, man, it's been tough riding, but I do like that you were able to snag up a couple of running backs here. Improve your depth because I know that was one thing that was lacking a little bit.
Is that Najee?
Yes, he has Najee.
Okay.
So I think he's okay at running back now with those 2 other ones at his flex. I like that. Looking at the wide receivers, though, Kev, are you changing anything up? I think I'm leaving the wide receivers as well.
I think if you wanted to, you could flex Julio, put Julio in the flex if you wanted to.
Over, that would be Damian
or Darrell. Yeah.
Because you like Darrell better than Damian, correct?
Yeah, I think it would be close between Darrell and Julio. They're going to be playing Buffalo, this week, this on Monday Night Football. And I don't think Trey White shadows either one of these guys because you're going to have both AJ and Julio. And so he's not going to shadow. He's going to play his side. And we know that they're going to be playing from behind. So there's going to be a lot of, throwing in this game where, like I said, like Damian, Darrell, I think they're all really close. I probably would lean Darrell Williams just because of his touchdown upside that I think he would have. But it is close. But other than that, I think I would still leave the rest of it. Maybe, I would probably go Darnold over Wentz. But
yes, we do have Darnold above Wentz. We both like Wentz this week, but Darnold, switch him in, and then I'm sticking with the running backs. Kev would go Julio over Damian there.
That's great. Mets 3-1 is in my league.
Love it. Let us know when you guys play each other. We want to know when you guys finally face off. We want to hear who takes home the victory that week.
Yeah. Struggling at quarterback. Kyler has a shoulder problem and the other on bye. I'm a 14-man league. Sadly, should I start Gino or Mills this week? No, we're starting Kyler.
No, we are starting Kyler Murray.
Yes.
You can't jump off after 1 week. The man's been damn near QB1.
Yeah. Busted. Think of buying low on the Seahawks wide receiver panic. You think Sutton is enough for Lockett? If not, maybe I throw in a Damian Williams to get it done. I think you could probably offer that for Lockett, and I think you could probably make that happen. Man. You might even be able to throw Damian Williams and Sutton for DK Metcalf.
Yeah, I think that's the problem for me is that Lockett's so inconsistent. I get it. When he booms, it's week winning. But, man, I just don't know. Sutton and Lockett are going to be pretty close for me most weeks, especially if Russell Wilson's missing, 5+ weeks? That's a problem. So I'm not doing that. You'd have to get at least DK.
Philly Mike, trade one. CeeDee Lamb or Mike Evans. Need an RB2 badly. I have Nick Chubb. Yeah, Latavius, Tyson, and Devin Singletary. Yeah.
Not great, Bob.
I think it's another spot you try to maybe go get Darrell Henderson or especially maybe Mike Evans coming off the big week that he's coming off of.
Yeah, we have to remember that.
Or maybe you do trade Mike Evans here in this situation.
Yeah, I think Mike Evans
or Mike Williams. I think Mike Williams. I think you could get the highest level of return for Mike Williams.
I didn't see that. Yeah, Mike Evans or Mike Williams, but I think Mike Williams is obviously going to draw you he should draw you a low level running back 1, wouldn't you say, Kev? It's hard to buy JT at this point because he just went off, but he's a low-level running back 1. Gibson. Who else am I missing around that area?
I mean, I think so. This would be the spot where you go and since you have a position of strength, I think at wide receiver, go to a team that has a little bit overloaded on running back, but is very weak at wide receiver, and this is where you attack and you try to get running back from them and try to make the switch to kind of improve both teams, but. Yeah, I think you could even get a low-level RB1. Like I said, again, Aaron Jones, I think, would be a play as an option that you could get for Mike Williams. I think that Antonio Gibson would be an option. I think it would take a little bit more to get somebody like Najee Harris. For somebody like that. But
Joe Mixon coming off the injury.
Joe Mixon for sure. Joe Mixon would be another great option as well. And I think you could probably get like Joe Mixon plus. It's not going to be like a huge plus, but I think you could probably get another piece thrown in.
Yeah. Maybe it's just my experience, but people value those running backs so highly that it might be tough, but hopefully you can get close there with Evans. If not, do a little throw in there.
James, start Evans or Tony Evans?
Evans.
Is Julio/Mitchell for Gibson a fair trade?
So this is the trades that we're trying to help him out with. Going back up to Julio and Mitchell for Gibson.
I don't mind it.
Yeah, I think that's what we had said. Yeah, you're trying to aim in that. It's kind of same thing we were just saying. You're in that low-level running back 1, Mixon, Gibson, Jonathan Taylor. That's who you're trying to get. Yes, I would try and do that.
Trade Godwin, Debo, Emmanuel, or Damian Harris for Hill and Javonte.
I want to know what the rest of the wide receiver room looks like. Does he destroy his depth to get Hill?
I don't think I would do that. That's a lot. I mean, that's Godwin, Debo, Emmanuel Sanders.
But right? if this is an 8 or 10 team league, right? Probably not, because you're not rostering Sanders, or maybe if this is a smaller league, I want those top level guys that are going to make the difference in weeks. Then you can, but most likely if this is a 12 or 14 team, maybe even a 10 team, you're going to destroy your wide receiver depth here.
again, this would maybe this is where I try to swindle one more piece into this
Jacoby
deal.
Myers coming back.
Yeah. Burrow or Heineke? This is Burrow.
Yep.
Choose one running back, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. Cook, Gaskin, Diggs, Cup, CD. So Dalvin Cook, Diggs and Cup, and my flex is going to be CD.
Yep.
Beat them by 2 points in week 4.
Now,
that's great.
No, they won't meet each other because with the extra week, I think you play the first 3. If your league just does the rotation right, you'll play your week 1, week 2, and week 3 opponents twice. Mets just misses out playing them one more time.
Oh, you love and hate to see it all in the same sentence, you know. Someone dropped Allen Robinson. Should I pick him up? Yes. Drop it. Should I pick up him up for any of these? You could drop any of those. Wait, Henry.
Ruggs.
Probably Ruggs. Yeah,
Henry Ruggs.
I'm an idiot. Read the next one. It was right there for you.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you could drop any of them for him.
Yep, Henry Ruggs.
But if I'm picking one, I'm probably gonna drop Ruggs for him.
Yep.
Can I win my lead with Henry and CMC? My league with Henry and CMC. I have David Montgomery on IR. Quarterback is Taylor Heineke. Wide receivers are Terry, Boyd, Thomas. Tight ends are TJ and Pitts. Need help. I mean, you could definitely win your league with Christian McCaffrey and Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a lethal 1-2 punch now that Christian McCaffrey is on track to return this week. Taylor Heineke, I think, is fine. You're probably going to be streaming some of these weeks. Wide receivers are pretty good. I think I would maybe look to make a move, though, on one of these tight ends. There's no reason to have both of these tight ends.
Upgrade your quarterback. If someone has they're holding a Burrow or somebody as their QB2, upgrade your quarterback trade. Which one would you trade? Are you sticking with Hawkinson or are you sticking with Pitts?
Yeah. Antonio, are you worried about A.J. Brown?
Real quick, no. Kev, if you're trading one of those tight ends, which one are you keeping, Hawkinson or Pitts?
I think I would keep Pitts.
I think you almost get more for Pitts after last week, and hype as a rookie. He's going to start ascending. So I guess it's what you get for each, but they're going to be close. They're going to be close for sure.
No, I am not worried. I would say I guess there's mild concern with A.J. Brown, but I think he's going to be fine. He's going to bounce back. He's too damn good of a wide receiver not to. They'll get this thing figured out a little bit. And I like it. And should you trade him? No, because you're not going to get anything for him. Never trade players at the bottom of their value. That's not a smart process. Hold on to it. Now, if he goes out this week and goes 8 for 120 and 1, maybe you do. If you want to make that move, I still wouldn't, because I don't think 1 week is going to be enough to rehab him to the point where he likely should be. And so I would hold A.J. Brown. And I would actually, I would actually be going out and looking to try to trade for A.J. Brown if I could. I have Justin Herbert as QB for the stack. Nice. Where is Aaron Jones in your rest of season rankings? Top 6? Top 7?
Kind of where he was going into the season. I had him right behind Zeke. Zeke was my running back 5, and Aaron Jones was my running back 6. So not really moving off of him.
No. Josh Allen, Henderson, Carson, Jettas. A-Rob, Kelsey, Tim, Patrick, Bench, Beasley, Pollard, McKissick, waivers, Khalil Herbert, Sammy Watkins, Davis Murray.
I do not know who Jettas is. Not Jonathan Taylor, right? Yeah, I don't know who that name is. But Beasley, Pollard, no. I mean, Pollard probably over Carson, actually, for me.
I think if Carson plays, if he actually does play this week, I would go Carson. But I'm not expecting him to play. It is not sounding promising. Now it is
Yeah.
only Wednesday. Wednesday's never really a practice I really care about. Thursday and Friday are the important ones. So
Let's say he does come back. He's probably going to be splitting time with Alex Collins. Would you agree? They're probably going to split some of the work. And so if they're both getting,
and it's an absolutely terrible matchup against Pittsburgh.
and if they're getting
Smith.
8 to 12 touches, which I think 12 would be on the high side for him, that's what Pollard's getting. And Pollard is the most efficient running back right now in a better offense with their starting quarterback, not Geno Smith. I'm probably starting Pollard regardless over Carson.
He's the best running back on the Cowboys.
No, he's not.
Rodolfo, hey, start 2 PPR. Julio Jones, Chase Claypool, Darrell Williams, Michael Pittman. I'm going to go Claypool and Pittman.
Yeah.
Also, do I start Hawk or Hunter Henry? We're going Hawkinson.
Yep. Man, Hawkinson, we've got Hawkinson on a lot. We're going to need him to come through.
Damian Williams, Darrell Williams, Kadarius Toney, and Myles Gaskin start 2.
First 2.
I'm going to go Darrell Williams and Myles Gaskin.
Man, you buying into 1 week.
I don't know, maybe 1. I don't know what we're looking for here. Maybe a flex.
Yeah, who do we like best out of here? I'm going to go Damian Williams. Kenny Golladay probably not playing. No on Ruggs, no on Melvin Gordon. Damian Williams over Devontae.
I'm going to go Devontae Booker.
Okay, so when I asked earlier, Darrell, Damian, Booker, you have Booker over Damian Williams. Man, Mike Glennon, if he doesn't get those 2 touchdowns, he has 15 carries for whatever it was, 39 yards.
Yeah, especially with the possibility of Glennon. Yeah, go Damian. I think that makes the most sense. David Montgomery is not rostered. I pick him up even though he is for what? Yes, absolutely. Mike Evans or CeeDee Lamb? CeeDee Lamb.
Very close. I'll go CeeDee Lamb.
Currently, I have Hawkins as my tight end, considering streaming Ertz this week. Which should I start? Hawkinson. I feel like we have all the Hawkinson owners just in here, and it's like a Hawkinson reunion or a recovery group here.
I think it's a recovery group or a burning at the stake. Like they are about to be done with this guy, and we are pushing them over the edge one more time.
Fate Rewind. Would you trade for CeeDee Lamb and Chris Carson for Ryan Tannehill and Hawkinson? Yeah. Absolutely. Without question. And really, the Chris Carson doesn't even matter for me. Like, I would do it Ryan for Tannehill and Hawkinson for CeeDee Lamb.
He's not playing Hawkinson most weeks.
Mike Williams, Deontay, and Gibson for Hill and Jones.
I'm going to guess that's Aaron Jones and Tyreek Hill. Ooh, that is a tough trade. That is interesting. A lot to unpack. That's a big boy trade. That is an adult trade. I might stick on the other side.
I think I would want the Deontay Gibson, Mike Williams side.
Yeah, it's close, and I get it, but
that makes sense. Just Jets is Justin Jefferson. That makes sense.
Are we behind on the lingo? Is that a nickname that?
Yeah, yep. His IG is
Oh man, I'm supposed to be the young one here.
Half PPR, AB or Higgins. I'm gonna go AB.
I'm going to go Higgins. Sticking with Higgins.
Trade Najee for JT and I feel like we've already had this.
We had that. I prefer the first one. Wait.
Yeah, we did answer this. Yeah, because if you can do JT and Debo, I would do it.
Hold on, look at the second one though. Najee for Gibson and an AB for Ridley. So the downgrade at running back, slight downgrade for an upgrade of AB to Ridley. That one's intriguing as well. I'm still probably sticking with the first one though.
Oh, if I could do that, yeah, I think I would do Najee and AB for Gibson and Ridley. The only scary part with Gibson is that mention of a stress fracture in his shin, right? And so that gives me pause for acquiring him, because at any moment something could go incredibly wrong, and now you just traded Najee away for a guy who has hurt. So with him having that track record, if I was gonna do it, I want Najee for JT and Debo, I think. But it is really intriguing to get Ridley too, because you're buying low on him as well.
It is so weird that he has that come out, that he has the stress fracture, right? And then gets the most work he's gotten to date.
Yeah, it may be something very small. I mean, maybe I'm not a doctor. I don't even play one on TV, and so I'm not really sure. But I don't know. Like, that's why it's hard with stuff like that.
There's games on October. I want you to dress up. You don't have your Santa hat. Save that for Christmas. But I want you to bring out the white lab coat. I want you to have the scalpel. I want you to be the doctor and just give us your best injury advice.
I thought for like Halloween week we should do. I was thinking about that. We should do like something, like all of us dress up as something, or because we also have the Halloween Day show that'll be Sunday morning.
It's Sunday
too as well.
I will be in the very cold Minneapolis area at US Bank Stadium for the Sunday night football game.
Well,
but I can still dress up. Maybe I can join the stream from the tailgate in the parking lot. That's never gone wrong for TFA before.
Yeah, I know that. I think Kadarius surprised a lot of people. I think if he Sterling Shepard is always awfully injured. I mean, everybody in this wide receiver room is always injured. Hell, Kadarius Toney even got injured apparently from a range of not for the season, or he's back at practice on Wednesday. But yeah, I think Toney could end up being an asset here in this offense. So I don't hate that. Fant or Gesicki? I'm going Gesicki.
Gesicki this week, yeah.
Harley again. Pollard and Chase for Aaron Jones. Yes.
Yeah. That's a fair trade, though. That's a very fair trade. The other person.
The only way that could go awry is if Zeke Elliott got hurt, and then I would be crying.
Oh.
Because
we don't talk
Tony
like that.
Pollard would become an
absolute. We don't talk like that.
Would become an absolute golden ticket. What are your thoughts on Allen Robinson rest season? Would I be able to get him for Damian Williams and Sutton? I don't want to trade for Damian Williams because Damian Williams is a short-term ad. But I guess he's asking, would I be able to get him for Damian Williams?
Trade away.
Yeah, I think you could get him for Sutton without even giving up Damian Williams, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Thomas has asked us a couple questions here. I think I recognize these, Damian Williams and Sutton. He can get – I don't want to say he can get better than Allen Robinson because this is your buy low, right? But, man, he can get Allen Robinson plus something, I feel like. Yeah. Allen Robinson has been hot garbage. I feel like there is teams out there that want him off for a Sutton. And then if you add in a starting running back currently that should be the quote-unquote starting running back for the next 4 weeks, I think you can get more.
Which is weird because, and I don't know, maybe this one is maybe the Bears are actively trying to tank his value and not really target him all that much because he is a free agent after this year. So
ship him off.
Send him to Kansas City, okay? Patrick Mahomes will know how to utilize.
You've got Josh Gordon. You're fine.
Oh, man. Big things. I will say, too, I guess we didn't really talk about it, but Tyreek Hill did not practice today. He was dealing with a knee injury that they talked about. So
just trade for him in the league, so that makes sense.
Yeah. So, maybe Josh Gordon just goes ham today. Well, this Sunday, we'll see. Cordero for A.J. Brown, yes.
Yep, that's exactly how you do
that. Start Tony or Lockett. 2 QB, 10-man PPR. I'm streaming Geno for Russ's replacement. Do I start Lockett with the backup quarterback or Tony against the Rams?
And there's a lot to unpack here because my first thing would be in a 10-team league, I don't think I'm streaming Geno Smith. There's going to be better streaming options out there. Kev, we talked about some of them. Carson Wentz we like better. Darnold might be on a roster now, but Darnold, there's other guys out there that I'm going to start over Geno Smith. And then we expect Sterling Shepard. He practiced. I believe you said Darius Slayton also practiced. Daniel Jones did not. Could Daniel Jones still come back and pass through the concussion protocol? Yes, he could, but I just don't know if we see Tony return to even what we saw in week 4 with these other weapons back. I think I'm going to go Lockett here, and I'm also going to find a better streamer than Geno Smith.
Yeah, I have to. Oh, it's a 2 QB though. I didn't think about that.
Oh yeah. So yeah, you're going to be. Yeah, you're down to a Geno Smith. So
the only thing
with
that's
Lockett.
exciting about Geno is his ability to run, right? And he still has that rushing ability and that rushing upside. And so at least that makes him a little bit more interesting. It's not a great matchup. This, I fear, is going to be a very slow-paced game with Seattle and Pittsburgh, 2 teams that want to run the football. This is finally going to be an opportunity for Pittsburgh to run the football. The only streaming QBs available in my league are Geno and Jimmy. Everyone else is hoarding up quarterbacks. Yeah, 2 quarterback league makes sense.
Yeah.
I do think that you could probably expect for the Seahawks to throw the ball more in this game because of the fact that, but I just think it's also going to be kind of an ugly game. But I still think that you probably see Lockett with 22 to 25%, I think, target share probably in this game. Whereas Kadarius Toney, it's really going to depend on everybody else and who all is playing. If they have everybody, but let's say Kenny Galladay, I mean, he may only end up having a 20% target share, you know?
Yeah, less. I mean, if or you're saying if those other guys are gone? Yeah.
If all those guys are gone, I mean, I think he has a 30% target share. They don't have anybody else. But I think if it's just Kenny Galladay that's out, and it's going to be the one thing I want to see the dynamic is going to be is with Sterling Shepard back. Because Sterling Shepard obviously plays in the slot, and Kadarius Toney has pretty much played primarily from the slot for the most part. And so, how does that work out? Do they flip and move Sterling Shepard back outside, which is what they did with Golden Tate whenever they had him? And so, that's why I would probably just prefer going with Lockett. I don't love it, but there's just a lot of unknowns with Tony. So if all these guys are out, then yeah, I think I would be comfortable with going with Tony. But if not, I think I stick with Lockett.
Yep. Get Diggs. Yes, Benny. Benny, This is give Cordero, get Diggs. Let us know if this happens. Ultimate sell high, buy low. Pollard, Collins, Beasley, Tim Patrick, who should be talked about more in this segment, has not been brought up enough, or A-Rob.
Well, that's because Tim Patrick's still widely available in fantasy leagues. So
yeah,
that's why. But the running back is going to be, man.
Going back to what I said with Carson, man.
Yeah, but what if Carson's out?
If Carson's out, I will have Alex Collins above Pollard, but I don't like it. Like, I'm not expecting anything great from Alex Collins.
Yeah, that's kind of where I would come in too. I think I would have Alex Collins ahead. With Carson out, I would go Alex Collins. If Carson plays, I would go Tony Pollard. And the flex, I'm going to go with A-Rob.
Why am I blanking on who the Seahawks have this week?
Seahawks have the Steelers.
Steelers, yeah. Not expecting a ton from Alex Collins there. Thoughts on Chase rest of season?
I think that he could be I think he's going to be really, really borderline wide receiver 1. I mean, I don't think what he's done is going away. I know some of it's been been on big plays, opportunities, but the dude is just fucking dynamic. I mean, some of the plays that he has made has been just ridiculous. And the rapport he has with Joe Burrow. So I think he can be a borderline wide receiver 1 rest of season.
Do you remember this?
What?
When a certain analyst here was worried about his preseason and his drops.
Oh, I do. I mean, but you can only I don't hate that stuff either, because you can only go off of what people said. And that certain analyst also said that that they did not think that it was some big thing to worry about, and that, you know,
You
Jamar
had
Chase
him
was going to
low.
be
You had him low.
yeah, of course, because you have to adjust to what the information we have in front of us.
Not
I'm
every
not just
piece
going
of
to be
news.
blind. I'm never going to be blind and just be like, nope, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I'm still sticking with it. I still thought this guy was going to be great. And I wish I did say I still thought he was going to be fine. But, you know,
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Yep. Just want to make sure if you're taking victory laps on my Ronald Jones love here, then you got to take some lumps too. But yeah, Chase should be fine. I do think this Bengals team is going to throw more. They're starting to trend that way. When they do, man, watch out. He could be on that Justin Jefferson level of a rookie season. Kevin,
I think it's trade. I want to trade him. We're not trading him for anything, but I think if you could get the right package for him, I'm doing it, because I think you could get quite a bit for him, especially as well as he's played over the first 5 weeks of the season.
Yep. Anything that you can do to make this starting group better? Murray is starting. Diggs and Hopkins are starting. Elliott and Swift, and then Waller with Deontay Johnson, the flex.
Yeah, if this isn't a two quarterback league, drop Ryan Tannehill immediately.
Man, eight man. Why are you rostering? Man, I guess Mike Davis. Yeah, feels like there's better options out there than Mike Davis, maybe. Yeah, but your starting lineup looks good. Who do you like best for a Damian Williams and Mooney?
I mean, it'd probably be Julio.
If team needs a running back, which receiver is attainable? Okay, so you're shipping out Damian Williams and Mooney. You're trying to get back. I'm going to want – would you have Julio over AB rest of season?
Yeah.
It's gotten closer, a lot closer for me, but I guess I will stick with Julio. Not trading Waller. I think you're trading Knox if you want to get rid of a tight end. Find somebody who's been rolling out a stream. They've been streaming tight end and it has not been working out for them. Get Knox out of there. Yep, we already got that.
Yeah, if you can make that happen, hell yeah. I'm about that life.
And getting Deontay and Cooper.
Yeah.
Yep. I feel like we've had this one, maybe from a different person, but maybe it was a start. It was a start one, which when you start Hunter Brown. Would you trade Hunt for Hollywood Brown?
Yeah, I think you can. As long as you're good at running back, right?
Yeah, that's the big thing.
You probably drafted running back or Hunt in the 5th, 6th round, where probably Hollywood is probably more of a 7th, 8th round guy. So just thinking about your roster construction standpoint, I mean, I'm assuming you probably went running back a little bit early. It's just going to depend on what your other situation is there at running back. If you can take the hit and you can handle it, yeah, I think it's a good trade. I don't think Hollywood's going away. And to be quite fair, the Ravens passing game has looked much better. Another victory lap for me, something that I kind of predicted this offseason, that they were going to throw the ball more and then they were going to get up into the low 20s, possibly even the high teens. And somebody here said that, well, yeah, if we can project that, we can think that can happen. Absolutely. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to stay down the 31, 32 range. That was somebody here that said that. But anyway.
Who?
You.
No way. I said the same thing. There was no way Lamar could keep throwing at the rate he was going to throw at. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, here we go.
Lamar was a top 4 quarterback.
I'm going to find the receipts. We're going to find the receipts. We're going to find the receipts.
Find them. You'll hear me saying that the Ravens had to throw more, especially after the running backs got hurt. Next question.
Deontay Johnson or Calvin Ridley rest of the season?
Calvin Ridley.
Deontay.
but it's very close. Calvin Ridley, but it's very close.
Yeah. Booker or Fournette? I'm going Fournette.
Fournette.
Trading Joe Mixon and Kelsey for Kamara, Brandon Cooks, and Gesicki. Good or no? For Mixon, Carson, and Patterson.
No. I would keep Mixon and Kelsey.
Yeah.
That is a huge downgrade to Gesicki.
Zach Moss, rest of season. I think that he's probably going to finish somewhere right around where he's at. I think he's a low-end RB2 on a really great offense. Lee just traded Cooper, Woods, and Darnold for Herbert and Edmonds. I have Deontay, DK, CD, Kamara, Moss, JT, 10-man PPR league.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you gave up too much
to
make it happen. You definitely got an upgrade at quarterback for sure.
Which he needed. He needed that for a 10-man league, I think.
But giving up Amari and Robert Woods hurts a little bit. But I still think you're okay with Deontay and DK and CD.
Yep.
So overall, I don't. The trade's not the worst, but I think you overpaid a little bit. But I think that's fine.
Yep.
Terry and Mooney for Diggs. Cody said yes in Discord, and I think I can pull it off. Terry and Mooney for Diggs? No, I don't think I would want to do that. There's some like with Diggs, like he has started slow. He has not. The volume is there. Like all the other numbers for him. He just hasn't had any of those monster games yet for him. But I don't think Terry like Terry McLaurin is in terms of just everything else is kind of there. He just doesn't have Josh Allen at quarterback, right?
Yeah.
So that one is very close for me.
Yeah, I guess his targets are fine. It's really just this last week where he was a bum, but 13, 8, 10, 11, then 5 this last week. I think you're going to start seeing more Diggs weeks, and that's where Dawson Knox isn't in the picture anymore. You're going to see Cole Beasley mixed in a little bit more. I think Diggs is definitely an upgrade from Terry McLaurin. Mooney's not really a factor for me. He's kind of fringe rosterable for me, so I'm going to go Diggs in this.
The disrespect. The disrespect of my boy Darnell Mooney.
Have you started him yet? Are you starting him? No.
Yeah, I would start him this week.
No, you're not.
Sure you can.
You're not starting Darnell Mooney after what you've seen from the Chicago Bears. No. Where is he in your rankings? Wide receiver what?
38, I think. Let me see. Oh, excuse me. I'm at 40. So yes, he is definitely in play as a flex option. Thank you very much.
All right, let's get these last questions and get out of here.
Only hesitation is Terry's playoff schedule is good. He's got some good matchups soon. Yes. Like I said, I think it's close. If you want to make the move to get stuff on Diggs, I think you can. But I don't think it's a slam dunk for you either. Which side is stronger PPR, Knox and Cooks or Fant and Woods? I want Fant and Woods.
Fant and Woods.
10-man league wide receivers are Diggs, Debo, Lamb, Ja'Marr Chase, Godwin. Excellent. Mixon, Carson, Cordero. What running back can I target for CD or Godwin? Actually, I would actually take Cordero and try to target somebody on that one if it was me and not. You definitely are super deep at wide receiver. So I think what you could do is take Cordero and Debo and go after like a Jonathan Taylor or
man, you can go higher. You can go higher. Debo and Cordero.
Well, I would probably ask for another piece into that as well. But I think Jonathan Taylor is going to be great rest of season. I think he can finish as a top 6-7 running back rest of season. So I like him.
I'd shoot for Najee, Aaron Jones. Can't get Eckler. Can't get Henry. Can't get CMC probably. But I'm shooting top 5.
Yeah. Also, where would you rank Hockenson moving forward? I think I would have him at 5.
Yeah, I moved him down a bit. He was my tight end 3 above Kittle going into the year. I'd probably bump him down below Andrews, probably to tight end 5 or 6.
Emmanuel Sanders and Bobby Trees. It's Bobby Trees.
Yep.
Is Burrow, Carson, Julio a good trade for Cook? He is 0-5. Wilson hurt and no quarterbacks. Also has Swift.
So he's giving up
Joe Burrow, Chris Carson, and Julio for Dalvin Cook. I would make the move. If it's a one quarterback league, yes, I would do it.
Yeah, and then you're just going to stream quarterback. He's getting Cook is what you're saying, right?
Yes.
Yep. Yes, you can do that. Start streaming.
Are you worried about A.J. Dillon taking his snaps?
No. Look at the last 2 years. If Dillon takes 30% of the snap share, 35% of the workload, Aaron Jones is still running back 5 last year, running back 2 years ago.
I think what people need to understand, though, and with about this too, is that he's not taking his snaps. If you look at him, so on the season, A.J. Dillon, 26% of the snaps, 29% of the snaps, 27% of the snaps, 37% of the snaps against Pittsburgh week 4, 32% of the snaps week 5. He only had 8 carries in week 5. He did receive 4 targets, which is more than he received all year. 4 catches, 79 total yards, and a touchdown, right? The week before that against Pittsburgh, he had 15 carries, 8, and then 1 reception, and he had 97 total yards. He's not taking his opportunities, right? And I think that's what people need to understand. Yes, he had 17 fantasy points, and yes, that is tilting as a Aaron Jones, somebody who has Aaron Jones because, you want those points to go to him. But same thing I just said, look at Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones played 69% of the snaps last week, 14 carries. He ran 26 routes. He was targeted 5 times at 109 yards. He just didn't find the end zone, right? The week before that, but he's had in every single game, but week 1, he's had at least 15 carries in every single game. He's running routes. He's getting targeted a ton. Like, Aaron Jones is fine. This is exactly what happened. This is what happens every year, like you were saying. Jamal Williams would do the same thing. There would always going to be those weeks where Jamal Williams would take the opportunity and it would be super tilting, and that's just what happens.
Yep.
10-man PPR, keep no penalties or anything. We just keep 3. I am 2 and 3, 7th and 6th seeds make it. Would you deal DK for the following: Moore, Gibson, Lamb, Godwin, Swift, Williams, Dixon, Henderson?
Yeah, I mean, for most of that list, right? DJ Moore, yes. Gibson, yes. Probably not Lamb. Probably not Godwin. Swift, I would. I don't know what Williams that is. Mixon, right. Yes. Henderson, close, but probably not. So, yeah, about half that list I would.
Yeah, now the question is getting somebody for it, but yeah.
Are you okay with how his running backs are, or excuse me, his wide receivers are if he were to trade away?
I don't think you need to.
Yeah, I think you're fine here. Just stick with DK. Well, does he have DK and Lockett? Not following here, Kyle, but if you have DK and you have these wide receivers in this next one.
And you also have to remember, so this is also a keeper league. And so long term, I want DK Metcalf. And so
right.
If you're looking at long term, where do you rank? I mean, obviously, I don't think Henderson deserves to be in the conversation. I don't know. I think if you could trade DK for DJ Moore or Antonio Gibson, I would do it. And DeAndre Swift would be involved in that for me, the guys that I would look to trade him for. Yeah. I think there's a question mark with CeeDee Lamb only because I don't know, if this defense continues to play as well as it has in Dallas, then that could be a problem for CeeDee. But I would still probably prefer CeeDee Lamb to him. And at this point, with Russell being out for an extended period of time, at least for this year, I would probably prefer Chris Godwin as well.
If this defense doesn't continue to play well, I think that helps CeeDee Lamb.
Oh, for sure. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
of
said
course.
I heard the opposite there. Okay. Just want to confirm.
Yeah. Who would you all start? AJ Brown or Kadarius Toney? I'm going AJ Brown.
Same.
Marlon Mack, a good pickup, assuming he gets traded. Yes, I think he's going to get traded. And again, wouldn't be surprised if it's the Chiefs that trade for him. CEH sounds like he could be out for a while. Again, this shouldn't happen, but I did. Watching Marlon Mack made me smile and think, okay, hopefully this can happen for Cam Akers next year. This is kind of the first guy we've really seen with a blown ruptured Achilles that has come back and really looked good. I thought he looked pretty damn good Monday night. So it's only a short period, short sample, obviously, but it's the best he's looked all year. And so I was like, yes, okay. Cam Akers can come back hopefully next year and regain his throne. But for at least for this year, yes, I think he's definitely worth a speculative add in 12-team leagues and above if you have the bench spot. I think you definitely can do it. So Dallas has also played a bunch of games against teams that are bad against the run, and things should start to get better. Yeah, I mean, we saw it week 1, right, where Dallas was smart. They're like, no, we're just throwing the ball the whole time. And, those guys exploded. They've had some really positive game scripts the last few weeks. I don't think that's going to be like that all year. I think that's definitely possible. So, it could be a buying window for those guys at the bottom, too. Drop Gainwell to pick up Mack? No. I don't think it's tough because I don't know where Marlon Mack is going to wind up. I do think Marlon Mack is traded. He requested a trade. They told him they would grant his trade. There is interest. I think he gets moved. There is a connection between why is his name escaping me? The Colts GM.
Ballard.
Ballard, Chris Ballard. With him in Kansas City. He was actually in Kansas City. He was actually people that were upset that he did not become the next GM for the Chiefs. He actually left while Dorsey was still here. So, anyways, but no, I would probably rather have Gainwell than Mack because there's still a chance that they don't trade him. And so, as a speculative ad, I love adding Mack, but I'm probably going to hold on to Kenny Gainwell and not lose him for Mack. So, because he could get traded somewhere else, like Baltimore or something, which it probably wouldn't happen in Baltimore, but a team where he's just in a committee with a bunch of other guys, that's what would worry me there. So, Other than that, I think we got through all the questions. Another 3-hour stream. I don't know any other places that are doing this that are just coming on here. We answer every single question that you guys have. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. That's what this is all about, trying to help you guys out. I know last night I stayed up till almost 3 a.m. editing videos, and so we could have them ready for today. So we do it for you guys. We appreciate all the support, whether it's the super chats or just thumbs up, subscribes, likes, join the Discord, all the stuff that you guys do for us. We truly, truly appreciate it. And, we'll be back again tomorrow night for if you're into DFS, you play DraftKings. Me and Maddie will be back tomorrow night breaking down the Week 6 slate. And then we'll be back again Sunday night. Sunday morning. Sunday morning, we'll be back for the Start Sit show that we do every Sunday. So we'll have all the news, all the information so we can better answer your questions with more authority for the brand. So until next time, I appreciate everybody checking out the show. I appreciate the support. We will see you guys very soon as of tomorrow night. You guys have a great night. Enjoy the game tomorrow night. Peace.